Hey, good morning, Misfits. Look who's on time. um, Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having an amazing conversation with yourself. We've got some neat things happening inside the secret sauce community, and then those folks who are part of the July the inaugural Founders Club. Where I got to tell you, I'm just so proud of y'all. As we get started this morning, here it is July 3rd, one day away from our Independence Day ceremony here in the United States. We're just going to do an open Q&A, but before we get started into the open Q&A, let me check, see if our resident
I'm here.
Hotline to the heavens is here.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
A quick prayer before we start.
Yes, please.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this morning. Thank you for time with each one of us here on this call. Thank you for a place to gather to help us step into who you created us to be. Help us to find the magnificent energy you've put inside of us and to step into that and utilize that. Help us to be someone's miracle today. Thank you for the miracles that you will send to us. Help us to see them and receive them, and help us to always look back at you and not the miracle, to be thankful to you. Father, just be with us as we go through this day. Thank you for those that are already through part of their day. Thank you for their protection. Thank you for keeping us all safe and close together. I pray a special prayer over Sean. Take control over his thoughts and his tongue. Help him say exactly what it is you have for each one of us, and help us to hear that. Give us your eyes, give us your heart, and help us to glorify and honor you. And we say all this in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rhonda. Appreciate that. Again, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing amazing. I appreciate everybody being here this morning, being an amazing misfit. I love the communications and connections that's happening inside of the secret sauce community that's going on there, the July Founders Club. And I see one of the super givers has her hand up. Good morning, Michelle. We'll go right to you.
Good morning, everyone. Touching on what Jeremy just mentioned, can you explain or talk briefly about that? And the reason I ask is because especially since having meningitis, I can go like 2 nights on 6 hours of sleep. But it's like that 3rd or 4th night, I'm out before I can even realize what happens. And I know some of it is from damage that I had when I had meningitis, because you mentioned going through the spinal cord. And I also have fibro. And when I was diagnosed, my doctor told me that fibro is more of a sleep disorder because your body does not get into REM sleep long enough, that the body doesn't replenish. So I've been aware of that for 20 years. But since the meningitis, 8 to 10 hours is what I have to function on a daily basis. Now, like I said, I can go a couple nights on about 6 hours sleep, but that 3rd or 4th night, I'm out.
Sure, absolutely. And I'm going to have Rhonda speak to that a little bit, because I'm sure there's some cardiovascular understandings that go along with that. The biggest challenge is setting up the brain to do the right work, right? When we go into the unconscious state, patterns kick in. Addiction to approval kicks in, the previous setup. So one of the things that I was taught years ago by an energy healer is truly set your intentions every night before I go to sleep. Because when I used to work industrial work, I used to have 7 businesses, and I would get call outs all the time. I worked in the high-end industrial, and what I mean by that is they would have scheduled shutdowns throughout the year, and a shutdown in one of those facilities could be anywhere from $600,000 a day in profit to well into the millions in nuclear facilities. So And the challenge is that if you're dealing in the energy world, they have shutdowns, they stagger the shutdowns so that all the power plants aren't down at the same time. So my life was that of a fireman for many years. I say all of that to say this. Whenever I would go to sleep, I was taught, right, as I lay myself down to sleep, every cell in my body will be at 100% health, no matter when I wake up. Whatever didn't get done will be finished the second time. So if I take a nap, it would take care of it then. But set yourself up to put every cell back at 100% health. And what will happen is that you're not going to wind up, when you start to go into those sleep cycles, your brain goes, we got a task to do. And as you go through this process, you'll wake up and you'll find joints will hurt because they've had fluid flow. Detoxing will hurt. You'll as you go through this process, there'll be sometimes where you wake up, you feel like you worked out because of the lactic acid in your muscles, that it was actually moving, because they've done studies to where Olympic athletes, they can hook neurological testing to it and have them run their race, and all of the muscles will fire the exact same way as if they were actually running it. So set yourself up a little bit more for when you go to sleep. Have the universal knowledge, God, go ahead and repair the necessary wire connections in the brain. That fibromyalgia takes care of itself, because there's people who have gone through fibro and all of a sudden no longer have it. They can't identify it. The challenge was they couldn't identify it for years anyways. They would say you're crazy, and it was typically based, happening a lot in women, happens a lot more in women, stress related, a variety of things. The other thing is that some healthy foods to create the neural sheaths around your nerve ending connections. There's a myelin that needs to be built back up, that helps with the nerve ending fibers. So all of those little things that you can do, there's healthier foods that help build the myelin. It's stress related that can help build the myelin. You can actually build that myelin by thinking about it, just like everything else. So,
and it's funny you mentioned the myelin, because ever since I had meningitis, I have an implant, a bladder implant, so I can't have an MRI. And it's funny you mentioned the myelins, because I have all the symptoms of MS.
Yep.
But they can't confirm it. They did test me for it years ago, but now they're thinking a lot of my health issues are MS related. So that's funny you mentioned that.
So I just ran a test on you, and and you have all the indications of a superstar, but we can't test that either.
Hey, that's what I keep telling them. I'm like, it's all good. I'm not dead, so it's all good.
Rhonda, do you have any input from a cardiovascular side to all of this?
Well, you guys covered a lot of it. As far as,
wait a minute, a farm boy from Ohio covered a lot of it? No, I don't think so.
You could get really technical. The one thing I was going to say is, as you're looking at foods, look at foods that enhance neurotransmitters. And a lot of the times in situations like this, it also messes up our neurotransmitters. And we have neuroreceptors in the brain that are wide open because we don't have the proper amount of neurotransmitters floating around. And as you restore that level, it will close those neuroreceptors down, and that helps the inflammation, because the brain begins to slow down and the brain begins to be able to have a moment to relax, so to speak. It's like a heartbeat. When you look at the blood pressure of a heart, the top number is the diastolic, or the systolic, and the diastolic is underneath it. And that bottom number is when the heart rests. Well, the brain has moments where the neurotransmitters, the neuroreceptors need to close and be full with the neurotransmitters. And when it is, the brain can actually slow down and take a minute. So I would research. I've got a really good book. I'll go into my library in just a minute, and I'll put it in the chat, or I'll send it to you, Michelle. Because when I was on my deathbed with systemic lupus, I had almost the exact same symptoms and issues that you're dealing with. And I had all these diagnoses. And the one thing that I finally did without realizing I was doing it is exactly what Sean said, which is I began to call myself, if they kept saying, oh, this is an autoimmune disease, we don't know where it comes from, we don't know exactly what's going on, we just know it's killing you. I began to say, well, then I've got a lot of good health and I'm perfectly well. We just don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming. And I began to say into my brain the same thing. I'm healed and my body is repairing itself. And then I did exactly what Sean suggested, which is I began to look at foods that were healing foods, oils. Like I took a lot of turmeric to calm down the inflammation, because a lot of what you have is inflammation.
Turmeric is
And
huge.
yeah. And whenever you,
Yeah, I take turmeric. And
yeah.
my latest one is CBD oil. And I have age-related macular degeneration in my eyes. And I just watched a video the other night of 2 doctors talking about it. And it basically is from inflammation as well. And they recommended the CBD oil. And it's funny because my eyesight has gotten better in the last 6 months since I've been taking the CBD oil, but I never thought of the correlation. So now at least I have some answers from my eye doctor as to why.
Yeah, most all the issues that the medical world faces, besides major interventions or broken bones or things like that, and even those can stem back, is inflammation. And it's chronic inflammation, and the body goes into it stays in a fight or flight mode, and it fights. It just constantly fights. So
does my brain, so does my mind. That's how I've described my life up until May 2nd. But seriously, I mean, I have felt it, and that's what I've told the doctor for years. I feel my body constantly in that state of anxiety, of fight or flight, that adrenaline rush.
Yeah. Michelle, I went out to Dr. Amon's clinic. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Amon.
Yes.
He does. Okay. I went out to his clinic because I knew I was losing my mind. I was going completely bonkers because my body was so inflamed. And this was one of the moments where I was getting close to that death place. And I had a brain scan. And when you have a brain scan with Dr. Amon's clinic, you have a consultation with a psychiatrist as well. And as I had that brain scan, they do a brain scan at rest and a brain scan with activity. And I sat down with a psychiatrist and they laid it open, and I still have it. And they showed me a normal scan for my age range. And there was a little bit of blue and a little bit of red and just little like dots of white here and there. And I was like, oh, that's great. And then they flipped the page and there was one that was all white with specks of blue and red. And I'm like, is that mine? They said, yes. And the psychiatrist says, your brain is so overactive, your body just literally can't catch up. And when I began to work on my neurotransmitters to shut down those neuroreceptors, that was one of the helping turning points for me, because I was actually able to physically get the body what it needed to let my body begin to fight inflammation without going bananas, if that makes sense. So
no, it makes total sense. And they've told me this since I was a child. I had, I used to see ghosts in this one house we lived in, and I would just scream bloody murder because, there was somebody in the house. And I have had brain scans and, my recent one was after my meningitis. So it's been within the last 12 years. But, this is nothing. Since a child, I can remember having this talked about.
Well, and you function in a different realm. This is really going to take a different turn. You function in a different realm better than you do a natural realm. You're more of a supernatural realm, and it's odd to be there. And the way the brain works, and when you have an overactive brain, your brain's capable of amazing things. We just rarely tap into the full capabilities of it. So when we do, we don't really know what to do with it. So we get panicked in most times. That's one reason why I love Sean's brain work, because as he goes through his brain work, it helps me understand why I've had very similar situations that you just described, Michelle. So stepping into your full brain capacity is almost eerie feeling, because you kind of go, I'm not supposed to be seeing some things I'm seeing and doing some of the things I'm doing. So it sends your brain into, oh my gosh mode, and then it goes into mimics a inflammation mode, if that makes sense to you.
No, it does. It does.
Okay, I will go into the library in just a minute, and I'll grab that book. It's a pretty intense book. It's a hard read to an extent because it goes into a lot of the neurotransmitters and pathways, but it will help you on your own to determine which neurotransmitter you're possibly low in that could help you the most. And then it'll help you with some food choices too.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm very familiar with the medical field. Before I got into accounting, I was working in the medical field and always been fascinated by it. And a lot of the reason was for my own self-discovery and my self-understanding of how my body's working and how my brain's working. So, you know, I've had extensive conversations with my family doctors that I've worked for. And the latest one I have is more rural, and it's not, you know, he's not into the mind as much, but I'm so thankful for the one family doctor I had when I was diagnosed with fibro. And I have since learned he had Cherokee Indian in him, and we have found out that a lot of my issues are from the Cherokee Indian line. They are just, you know, that's part of their trait. And thank goodness he was aware of it, you know. So
yeah,
I think I've always had doctors placed in my life for reasons at certain times, and he was very knowledgeable, and I'm forever thankful for him.
Cool. Well, I'll get that book to you.
And yeah, I mean, stress related is 80% of the reasons people go to doctors, and the reason and the side effect of stress is inflammation. So this whole idea of inflammation, of everything just being inflamed and swollen, is a huge issue. And how many of us have ever, by show of hands, how many of us have ever been to an event where somebody does the biting into a lemon and your mouth waters? Anybody ever been to that? Type an L in the chat if you've ever had somebody do that to you. And if you're not familiar with it, we'll do it real quick, because it's amazing. Okay, so it's amazing how we can experience that, right? So I don't see a whole lot of yeses. So real quick, if I were to imagine a beautiful bright yellow lemon, and I'm holding this beautiful bright yellow lemon in my hand, and it's just gorgeous. It's just, I mean, and now I'm going to cut it in half, and you're going to cut yours in half, and you can actually smell the lemon, and you can smell it, and it's got that citrusy smell, and it might make you a little bit, you know, you know that it's great in water. But now what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to put it up to your mouth, and I want you to take a bite. How many of your mouths just watered? This is what we do to our mind all the time. We take an external image and we wind up bringing it internalized. When we internalize it, it becomes part of who we are, and the brain doesn't know whether it's real or false. The same thing happens with every goal you set, every rejection you deal with. All of these things that you're starting with are based on how you have inflamed even a goal or an idea or a thought or a process. So, Michelle, I hope that helps. I hope that gave you some.
Yes, it did. And actually, the breathing with Amy, I have been practicing that more. And you just telling me to say that I love that with the chronic pain, that has made a huge difference, mentally as well as physically.
And as you go through the secret sauce, part of this is that's a story that you've had for generations, right? That goes back through your Indian ancestry.
Yes, it does.
So I would ask you, you know how you've heard me take people back to the moment to where the change happened, to where they were about to experience that serious life-changing, scarring moment. and the us of now goes back to the you, the you of then, and gives them a kiss, gives them a hug, and says, listen, what you're about to go through, you will make it through. You are going to make me such a strong person. And all of a sudden that child feels, I got this. And they give you the wink when we leave that moment in time. And if you listen to the call, the second session of the Secret Sauce call, Luis Martinez from Puerto Rico says, my body feels like it's being heated up because we went through a situation in 5 minutes with a story his dad used to tell. You can change this. You can go back and rewire. So I would encourage you, go back into your Indian ancestry, just like the cartoon Avatar, where all of the avatars show up whenever he would get into state. If you go into a meditative state, go see how far back, ask the universe, ask your ancestry, how far back does this lineage start? Because if we all come from the same starting point, this got wired in somewhere along the way. That particular could be that particular tribe, could have been something they ate, something where they lived, whatever it was. But see if you can, how far you can go back in that ancestry and fix it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I know it sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't, because of what I've experienced, on May 2nd and what I know it can do. It does. I mean, it doesn't sound crazy to me now.
Right.
Now,
Yes.
prior to May 2nd, I'd have thought, whatever.
I'm Audi 5000. Get me out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, so you can go back and do that. You can go back at conception, right? When the egg and the other thing met. And you can rewire that and say, okay, that used to be genetic. And there's things called psychogenetics, that their thoughts, they're not physical. And part of a lot of people's challenges is psychogenetic. We can think our genes and turn our genes on through epigenetics, but epigenetics is turning on from the environment. Psychogenetics is turning it on based upon how we think. So you have this amazing brain and this amazing ability and this incredible source. You can do some powerful things with your body and with your mind. So awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. Hey, there's Ann Poe. I just want to look at Ann. I thought it was like a picture when she was sitting there with her lipstick on and everything else. I'm like, who is this little? What? Would she go to a photo shoot?
Anne
Oh my
looks
God,
like
that's
a Barbie doll
live.
today. She looks like a Barbie doll.
I know.
IGTV video thing, so I was like, I might as well put on some makeup and have fun.
Oh my goodness. You were
Thank
gorgeous
you.
before, yet this whole idea is like, wowza. So I just want to say, I want to congratulate you, Ann, publicly and privately. And the reason I say that is I want you to know that what you're doing with your videos is absolutely amazing. The way that you're diving into things, the way that you're reliving things, and the questions that we ask in the Secret Sauce Academy, that you're going, I heard them, but now I'm starting to hear them. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Rhonda.
And I got to giggle. I was watching your video, and I was sitting with my bride, and you're saying, when I came home and cooked for my husband, were you married?
No.
Oh,
So
where did I go? I'm like, did I pass out? What happened? When did she get married?
No.
Oh my God,
No.
I feel like a schlep because I missed a whole portion of her life. Okay.
No, it was I was told that as I was growing up. That was kind of the conditioning.
Got it. I thought that's what it was, but there was such a convincing. Listen, when you were speaking that,
Yeah.
as much as it was spoken into you, it was with such a conviction that I'm thinking, did I miss that she was married and not anymore? What was I? I got to call somebody about this tomorrow. Awesome.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
good.
Hilarious.
Well, it is, but think about how convincing it was to hear that.
I know. I didn't realize it was that convincing. I just said it because that was the belief that was poured into me. But now I've got to rewatch that video and see my.
Well, and again, I was saying to my bride, I was saying to Michelle, I said, these kids, they're like my kids. I can't believe they're married. And I went, wait a minute, Ann's not married. Did I miss this? And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was going, I can't, who do I call? I'm not calling Ann. I'm not going to be embarrassed enough to go, were you married? But I'll do it on the call. Well, good morning, everybody. Great to have everybody here. It's open Q&A day. If you got a question, comment, you want to have a dialogue. Where is Samantha? Samantha Willie, is she on here?
I'm here.
Samantha Willie, I just got to say,
Beautiful.
thank you. I got these in the mail 2 days ago, and I kept meaning to say thank you. And I'm like, how cool is this? Now, here's and they read the card. I read the card, and a beautiful card. It's here on my desk somewhere. But here's my son, right, Mason? Y'all ready for a little giggle? Oh, 2 pillows, one to rest your head on and one to smother you with. I'm like, Mason. But that's a 16-year-old, right? Because we all have this when somebody doesn't like something, right? When I used to hand out hats in my industrial business, I go, oh, could I get 2? I go, why? One to poop in and one to cover it up with. I'm like, oh, for the love of Pete. So anyways, but Samantha, thank you for those. I don't know what I did to deserve them, but thank you. They're beautiful.
Yeah, part of my secret sauce.
Aw.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else? I just saw Kayla pop in. Where's Kayla? Kayla, are you where you can just, you don't have to come on video. You may be doing stuff around the house as well. So.
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning, Kayla. How are you this morning?
Great.
If you expect me to believe that. See, that's the challenge when you start to know people at a deeper level and they go, yeah, I'm great. I love you. Good morning, Kayla.
I love you. Good morning.
I love you, Kayla. Good morning.
Good morning, Wanda.
See that
See, I got the happy voice.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a whole different. Yeah, Sean, whatever. Morning. Hi, Kayla. I love. Oh, I love you, Rhonda. Like, what am I? Chopped liver? Good Lord. This is when you have fun with family. So, anybody reach out to people yesterday? Anybody? Send out your 3 messages of gratitude, of joy, and I'd ask you, since I'm now kind of on the board of directors of random chats of kindness, you could hashtag it random chats of kindness and just send out some joy and gratitude to some friends and folks. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go to randomchatsofkindness.com and get on the email list where we're going to be doing some trainings and stuff. It launches tomorrow, so it'll be cool. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a presentation on unlocking your creativity, some certain things you can do to unlock some of your creativeness that expands you, kind of like what Ann is doing through this deeper dive of conversation. So you can invite some of your team or however you want to do that, but it's going to be kind of it'll be about half hour, 40-minute presentation. Then we can do some Q&A. But today's open Q&A. Oh, there's a whole bunch of hands. I was at the wrong part in the chat. Hey, good morning, Delia. Talk about somebody who's awakening and growing. How many of us have just been listening and watching Delia just absolutely expand her creativity? Good morning, Delia.
Good morning. I was drinking.
Listen to that. I love these people.
I was watching the top. I'm sorry. How are you? How's
Outstanding.
everybody? I feel a lot better, and everything that you spoke about, as far as the body readjusting, I had experienced that in the past, but I never saw it like I saw it today. So thank you for explaining that, because when I talk to my family about eating blueberries and raspberries and drinking lots of water, moving your body, blah, blah, blah. They think that I'm crazy. But
Well,
question.
and they think that because they're not learning it from doctors. They see it in an ad, they hear about antioxidant, but nobody really understands it until they get sick, and they've got to understand it. So
Exactly. And my grandmother was like me. I didn't know that I had this talent when I was a little girl, but I don't want to sound, how can I say this in a way that I don't sound stuck up? I have this intuition since I was in my 20s. Drink this chamomile, do this, do that, without any teaching or education in that field. But I did watch my grandmother, where she used a lot of medicinal things that were not from the pharmacy. And also her way of thinking, like my dad, it was all about the mind. These people didn't go to college. So I was like in heaven when you were explaining to, I think it was Michelle, how we can strengthen our neurotransmitters. So I feel very good today. Well, I felt good when I got off, you can see.
And again, this is part of, so y'all are building teams.
Right.
As you begin to listen to the exchange of the individuals on this call, and as you start to have conversations with people, part of one of the secret parts of building a large organization is giving people a chance to let go of what they want to let go of. And some of it could simply be, how many of us have ever, Delia, your grandmother, how many of us have ever had somebody try to sneak some medicine in us, right? How many of you have puppies, animals, dogs that sometimes they're a little hurting, but they don't want to eat the aspirin, but you cut up half an aspirin and give it to them in a piece of cheese. We have to mask the solution. And let me let you in on a little secret. Part of building a large organization inside of network marketing is masking the solution of what it takes to build a large organization. Listen, I'll grab RBP again and bring her up here because a year ago, I know, but a year ago, there was no way she was going to ever have 90 people and do this and be running contests and everything else. She's like, I ain't doing any of that stuff. You can hear the giggles.
No, I wasn't.
Same thing. They call me when I turned 50. I was a little bit older than Rhonda, but in that area, in that age level. And they call me on the phone and they said, do you want to make $1 million? And I said, you have to be out of your mind.
Yeah, because
later, do you want to make $1 million? This is Shannon, not Sharon, Shannon.
Right.
Said, is this for real? Why do you call me on the phone and tell me if I want to make $1 million? And guess what happened? Within 6 months, I want to say 6 months because I don't remember the time frame. It could have been 3. I joined that company through another person that masked the $100 million that used to make me scared.
Right. And that's what we do on a regular basis is as we begin to have conversations, as you begin to have dialogues with people, part of your responsibility as a leader and as a sponsor, not an enroller. Too many people are great enrollers. There's a handful of great sponsors. If you think about any addiction support, they always say, please go find a sponsor. And a sponsor is that person that can call you at any time. That person is the sponsor who will guide you, who's been through the hell and back. Many of us are taught how to be great enrollers. We're taught how to give a pitch, how to give a presentation, how to follow through, how to get things done. And then all of a sudden, we've got people in our business. Then what do we do? Well, I need to plug them into a system. Well, you haven't even used the system. or you think that you're using the system. And the challenge is that there's 4 kinds of personalities that are out there. The system is usually built for one style of personality. So as we begin to move through the process, as you begin to uninflame your dialogue, meaning you let them do more of the conversation and you stop the inflammation that happens in them. Inflammation is what? Stress related, unknown related, right? How many of us have gone and Googled stuff? You know, there's a funny joke that most people will talk about when their kids go away to school. My son called me the other day and he said he thinks he has the first stages of menopause. He Googled all of his symptoms. It's like, what? Right? So there's these crazy things that when you can find all of the symptoms, the challenge is you can find all of your symptoms, and because everybody's looking for the same thing, what's wrong with them, you come back with the disease, the diagnosis that says you've got this disease. Well, you've got a disease before you ever started looking. Your body not at ease.
Exactly.
So,
I remember my question.
okay.
When I heard Ann talk this morning, I had to put your video now, and I didn't have time. I didn't make time for it yesterday, but I will watch it today. I browsed it, and I guess I commented in some bubbles, and I went to do my conversations. But the question that I was going to pose was about belief. And it's amazing how the post that I did yesterday, I did a post in the morning. Everything was synchronized. I did the post, then I did a couple of videos, one for the secret sauce, and then this video all of a sudden pops up in my head that I should do a video about the post. And I did that. And the video was awful. I didn't want to comb my hair, a mess, but I said, you know what? It's the message. If I go and I put makeup, I'm going to forget the idea. If I write it down, it's going to sound rehearsed. And I didn't want any of that. So I said, I'm just going to do it. I love to be spontaneous. I do. So I did the video, the brief video, and I was proud of it. And then I messaged Sean in the evening, and I said, could you go through this message that I'm about to send to 46 people, my cars that I follow? And Sean said, just add this to the message. And it's like, wow. So the message will work. So we send the message to 46 car leads, and a couple of people responded and they wanted the videos. And I said, they just say that to be polite, because I've learned from Sharon that a lot of time people say yes, and there's 3 yeses. So I asked, number 1, you're ready to watch it right now. Number 2, later, I'm cooking, I'm watching the news another time. So what do you know? Only 1 said I want to watch it now out of 46. So I felt very powerful knowing that I have tools where not that I want to be controlling, but where I have tools that I know what people are really thinking by the things that they're saying. It's important to know this when you're prospecting, I think. And in the past, I felt like in the middle of the sea, in a boat with no oars, loving the ocean, which is the prospecting and this industry, and not having a way to make myself go to my destination because I couldn't read people the way that I wanted to. So I put it into prayer, or if it's not prayer, I put a thought before bed the day before yesterday where I said, I want to understand people better. And that was in my secret sauce goal. I want to understand people better. And last night, I was given the opportunity to get 50 replies about my preposition, where I saw exactly how people dropped they want it, but they put down the limitation. And this is a question, I was in that boat when I woke up today, I was happy. I felt better because we walked last night, because I let everything out yesterday. And guess what my thought was as I opened my window in the bedroom? My sliding door window. My thought was, Delia, did you do the right thing by opening up and saying that abuse, how did I phrase it yesterday?
So you got vulnerable. You talked about abuse. You talked about food challenges. Yes.
Yeah, not particularly did I talk about abuse, because that was not really the origin of my questioning. My questioning was how limitations causes harm. But I put it in other words.
Yep.
And they gave the example of overeating and undereating as a way to control the environment within myself and around me, because I would get a reaction from my family when I didn't eat. But I didn't explain it this well. It's coming out this well now, I guess, so I can understand my story better.
Yep.
And this morning, Sean, when I woke up, I'm happy. I overslept. Okay, I get up at 5. I got up at 7:22 because my better half woke me up. He goes, you gotta get up. Sean call is about to start. I said, this man is addicted to the call, but I didn't say it. I'm saying it now. This is crazy. I love this. And I said, oh, Delia, this is the old Delia. Oh, Delia, you step into shit. You know what it is to say to the Cuban community in Miami that you recognize that one of your limitations and resistance was to eat or not to eat, to get a reaction from your mom, and that is a type of abuse, and you're recognizing that publicly? Just because, Sean, I got a message saying you are not to disclose these things publicly from one of the leads. But when I explained to her the intention, very briefly, I said, this is about limitations. The eating disorder and the abuse are causes of the limitations, either by me or other people. Because that was the question that I posed. How we absorb the limitations of people that we grow up with, not because they're bad people. I love my parents. They got it from their great-grandparents. So they brought down this thing, and in the Cuban culture, feeding a child is like putting air in a tire in a car, which I, thank God I didn't do that with my kids. I would say, the food is here, you don't want it, it goes in the fridge. If it's good, if it's not, toss it, we can make another meal in 5 hours. But I wasn't taught that way. So yes, and I regress, even after all this training, this all programming. I've been working with John Asaraf. I guess what you said about the lemon, I was totally impressed into that stage in my life when I was 3 and 4 years old, that I remember. I have great memory, which to me it serves and it doesn't. Because then the experiences that were traumatic, the only way that I can unprogram them is doing the stuff that you and Rhonda are teaching us, and John Asaraf teaches, and Bob Proctor teaches. This is the only way. So, enough.
So here's the thing, Delia. So here's what I would ask you to do as you're going on this journey, because people will challenge you, and this is for everybody. Whenever you start to step up and people tell you you shouldn't do that, I would encourage you to sit and ask, where did they get the information to have the courage to tell me I shouldn't do that? What story, what programming are they responding from? Don't take it as they can tell you, because nobody can tell you what to do. But addiction to approval says, well, oh my God, I made somebody upset. Where did their upsetness come from? Right? If somebody delivers you lasagna, they go, I got lasagna here. You're going to guess it's probably the Italian lasagna, right? There's chocolate lasagnas. There's all of these different kind of things. But when she says you shouldn't say that publicly, one of the things as you begin to understand and awaken to a conversation, you'll start to say, so how bad did that affect you growing up?
Oh, wow. That is brilliant.
Right. But again, so what if somebody says you can't get there from here, the question is have you ever tried to get there from here? Have you ever changed your here to get there?
Yes.
Her here is stuck there. So when people start to throw stones at you, and they will as you awaken, because you're not supposed to be awakened. You're not supposed to be living at a higher level, operating at a higher vibration. There's an energy field out there. And right now, especially inside of this world that we live in, this is a global thing. This isn't isolated anymore. When they would have the wars and the strife in Serbia and and in Slovenia and all of these different places, and there's this genocide going on, that was always over there for us. For those that were there, it was right there. Their world that existed at that level. So when somebody says you shouldn't say that publicly, when somebody goes to condemn you, the question is that the only way that she could say you shouldn't say this publicly is because she was told you shouldn't say this publicly. So therefore, then you ask us, so how long has this affected you?
Wow. And I have a second question.
Go ahead.
Because of my post, which I don't even remember, I know that it had to do with the video. I wrote it before the video came. I was inspired before the video. And right now, since I woke up late, and I'm talking, I can't remember because of course I'm tense. The minute that you started talking and I was able to listen, I relaxed and I remember the question.
Okay, what's the
I
question?
have learned so much through this interaction today because that's exactly what I need to do with the people that I talk. They're gonna be stressed the first time I talk, whether it's a chat or a video call. So if I relax them by my speech and by posing questions like you're doing, then they're going to relax and they're going to open up like I have.
Yep.
I'm not different from anybody else. So the second question had to do with a doctor. Well, she's not a psychiatrist, but she's I guess a counselor. And when she read the post, because the video I didn't post in my wall, the video is in a private page that I call Believe,
Delia,
Succeed.
I love you. What's the question? I don't need the details.
The question is that she questioned me,
Okay.
like needed help. The same thing that happened to you and Ann. That's why I had to share this. I spoke in the past that I was an overeater and an undereater.
Yep.
And that was me at the end. He says, that was me.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what the person read? That I was at the moment in the problem.
Right.
Could help me. So I was able to introduce the secret sauce.
And so when somebody catches you and says, what can I help you with right now? Thank them for, hey, listen, it's not happening right now, but let me ask you, how many, it sounds like you've helped people do this in the past, right? Because when anybody sees anything, the only place they can hear it, the only place they can comprehend it is the brain looks for two things. Will this kill me, or how fast can I recognize a pattern? The only thing their brain is doing is what pattern in my history does this relate to?
Oh, thank you.
So when they respond to you, they're responding from their mind. Their mind, as Joe Dispenza says, is the archive of everything that's ever happened to them. Dr. Shad Helmstetter says everything that's ever been said to you or anything you've ever said has been recorded in your mind. That which you repeat on a regular basis becomes permanent. So the lady that said you're not allowed to talk about this in public, that's the thing that's been recorded in her mind and been repeated regularly because she instantly was able to recognize it and go, you shouldn't do that. That was speaking from her mind. And here's the thing, here's where the phrase comes. Have you lost your mind, Delia? Which means, have you lost your place in my mind? Because you shouldn't be doing that because nobody does that. From where? From my mind, from my history. When the person reached out to you for the food, she reached out to you because in her mind, she said, I can serve, or I can either condemn, I can promote, or I can fix. Very few people want to have a dialogue. They want to have a monologue. And in their response, they will condemn, they will promote, or they will recognize or congratulate, or they will try to fix.
Right. Yeah, because time is money, as they say, right?
Yeah, but if that was true, people would be rich, and it's not that, and that's not the case, because everybody has the
Oh,
same amount of time. Why are we not all the same rich?
yeah, but the way that I read that is not the way that it sounds. The
I
way
know.
that I is valuable. Don't
Right.
waste.
Time
So
is
if
time
that
is
com-
time is value, not money, and people pay for value.
right.
So when
It's
you do
valuable.
your
Yeah,
posts, you're
person is
bringing value.
monologuing, but people, again, limitations, resistance, right?
Yep. Not my place to fix.
Exactly.
Can I,
How can
can I expand on that a little bit?
Sure.
One thing, there's a little strategy that everybody can learn to use that will help them not only with dealing with a challenging person as such, but once you get it installed and built in automatically, it'll probably help you in your prospecting. And that is, for example, if Dahlia could remember a particular person that confronted her with anything in a major way or a minor way in the past. And if she stood outside, imagine seeing that person in front of her. Imagine seeing her younger self in front of her. And from outside, begin to evaluate what's going on between those two people, that person and that younger part of me. And if you were then imagine stepping into the other person and looking across at yourself, you might notice that there's something that person, some way in which that person is looking at my younger self. And
Wow.
you can collect that information.
Wow.
Then you can pop back out and then pop back into your younger self, looking across to the other person and getting a perspective, a view of what that younger person thought she knew about that other person. And then you can step back outside of both of them and comment to yourself about what that whole interaction was about. This is what Robert Dilts used to call the triple perspective prescription. The idea being that you probably have done this other than consciously already. You already know
I have.
what that other person intended, what they wanted, but it wasn't conscious to you. And if you make a practice of doing this with people, and anybody, whether you had a major conflict with them or not, before long, you'll run this pattern automatically. It'll happen so fast that when you're working with a prospect, you'll know much more rapidly what that prospect is looking for.
Wow.
You'll know, you'll be in greater touch with yourself, what you're looking for, what you want, what you intend. So it's a matter of visualizing your younger self and another person out in front of you, then one after another stepping into that other person, looking across to your younger self, gaining the information from that perspective, then stepping across into your younger self, looking at the other person, gaining the information that younger person had about the interaction, and then finally stepping out and from outside, a meta perspective, from outside of that interaction, making meaning of the whole interaction. And from all of that, you've got a now conscious, much more consciously, a whole lot of information about what that whole dynamic was all about. And now you can step back and make a new meaning for yourself about what that whole interaction was all about. You can decide, well, oh, that was an interesting interaction I had with that person. I learned X, Y, or Z from it. What it means to me today is X, A, B, or C. You can make a whole new meaning of it, because now you have that additional information from multiple perspectives. And when you again, you know, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. When you do that a number of times with a number of people, you'll grease the way in which that you can run that strategy anytime that you encounter any challenging person. It becomes an automatic knee-jerk response to gather information from multiple perspectives. And he who has the information generally has the advantage.
Wow. I totally understand it.
It's one thing to understand it. It's another thing to put it into practice.
I will put it to practice. Let's do that exercise one day here. I don't want to take the entire call from me. But to conclude what you're saying, when I hear the prospect or the person that I'm having a confrontation or a presentation with, people are out there to get two things. Will it kill me? And what is the other one, Sean?
Well, it's not people. There's a difference between what people are out there to get. It's when people hear information, the brain looks for two things. Will it kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern?
Okay.
I'd say people are out there looking to see how they can win.
Okay. So that's in their mind, in our minds. And then when they speak, I do the same thing. I think he's going to kill me, or how can I help myself?
Right. So then the question is, how are you diving into you?
Right. Instead of listening, like when you read between the lines and trying to understand the pattern in their speech, not for the sound, for the meaning.
Right.
Where's it coming from? Is it a belief that doesn't serve them? Is it something that I can work with? So that's where I come the problem solver.
So if you step into what you imagine is that other person in the present, and look as if you're looking back at yourself through their eyes, you'll get a sense of what they're all about. And if it's people in the past, the thing is, we've got all of these. We've got a model for how we reacted to people in the past, sort of stored away in our archives. But a lot of it's unconscious. We didn't really pay attention to what your parent wanted for you when they yelled at you, because we didn't learn how to step into their position and look back at us when we were little.
Exactly.
But as an adult, we can learn this strategy, practice it, make it automatic, and actually take it back into the past now and revisit some of those old relationships, old interactions, and make new meaning of it in such a way that they no longer bother us. Because now we have more information. We can bring to conscious awareness more information about what was going on for them and for us at that younger age. How about that?
Thank you very much, Bob.
Outstanding.
Sean,
Yes, go ahead.
you connect with Dahlia. I just wanted to say that whoever told you not to share that someone force-fed you, they're completely wrong, because my parents force-fed me and I had lots of food allergies, and everything you said has helped me millions. So don't ever think that they were right and that you were vulnerable and you shouldn't have done it, because when I was force fed, I was allergic to what I was force fed, and I would throw it up and I was told, you're going to eat that again.
Feels
And
cool.
it took for doctors to say, no, this is going to kill her. She has to not eat this. So,
and Jessica, I applaud you for having the courage to share that. So here's the other thing. When we talk about force fed, it's one thing we can see it with food. How many of us have been force fed ideas? Right? That's addiction to approval. That's all these food allergies that you have. What about your success allergies? We all have these success allergies we run around with about money, about time. That's what we're doing in the secret sauce, is having conversations to really uncover where those success allergies exist. Most people are allergic to success and they won't prove it. But network marketing brings it out real quick. Network marketing is the scratch test, the prick test, where they prick you with different things to see how your skin reacts. Yeah. Network marketing is exactly the prick test. It's to find out, what are you allergic to? And most people are allergic to the thing that is required in order to build a business: talking to people.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing and having conversations. Thank you for sharing that. Let's go to Ann P.O. and with all of the makeup and the gorgeous and the lipstick.
Hi, Sean. Good afternoon.
Morning.
Good morning to you. I want to ask a question, but I also want to share an aha moment, but I'll get to that later. Okay. So the question is, so I started doing what you told me to do, talk to 2 people a day.
Yep.
I can talk because I can talk forever, but I cannot prospect. Like, no, that I shouldn't say that. I'm working on prospect. Right. I'm working on in sponsoring people into my business. And you know, I think I've had this, I put it on the Facebook thing, and Dana, is that how you say his name?
Yep.
Dana. He commented on the Facebook and it helped a lot, but it's just, I'm really finding it hard to, like, I know you've given us like questions that we can ask, right, but I'm finding it difficult to use those questions because I know it's not me.
So how's your success? Because you're using you. It's time for you to use not you.
I know, but I don't know how to say it to sound like me, because it doesn't.
So you practice. So what's the question that's what's the language that you're finding hard to use?
Like, just even asking someone to like have a look, like so the person I was talking to, she was saying how she's really like motivated, driven, she wants to be a huge success, blah blah blah, and I chickened out so bad. I just went, oh yeah, like yeah, I had this opportunity presented to me a couple of months ago and it's great, blah blah blah. And she was just like, oh yeah, keep going with it, don't give up, blah blah blah. And like the conversation didn't die, but it was just sort of like, I just sort of moved on. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how to just be like, you know, I've got this amazing opportunity, would you like to listen to it? Like, you know, I don't know how to say that.
So when somebody says that they're doing amazing things, ask them. So here's where you might learn some new language. Okay. That's incredible. Are you being rewarded for all of your entrepreneurial spirit?
Oh, wow. Give me a second.
So as you're looking for a pen and to write that down, I would walk up to people. I've enrolled ticket agent people. I've enrolled people at Home Depot. I've watched, when you start paying attention, whenever somebody's doing something they love, when I see somebody at a customer service counter and they've got this incredible smile and attitude, I say, hey, listen, I want to ask you something on the side. You've got an incredible attitude. You got an amazing smile and an incredible energy. Are they paying you extra for that, or is that just something you're giving away as you're working here?
God. Okay.
And they go, oh, thank you. No, I'm serious. Listen, I've partnered with a company that rewards people for great attitudes like this. I don't know if you'd have a 30 minutes for an interview to see if you qualify to use all of that talent and skill, because that's what I do around the world is I implement ways and systems for people with amazing attitudes to leverage me to take care of their families.
Wow. You interview people. Oh, I don't say that. I should start saying that.
Well,
And
because-
if you travel with Sean, it's like, oh my God, this is what he does all the time. It's fascinating to travel. I've traveled with him a few times, and it's fascinating to travel with him because you're like, okay, he says he does this, but you know, how many people say they do this and then they really do it? And he really does it. And it's wild and it's weird to watch. And then I implemented it on a trip to North Carolina last November.
Mhm.
And I was treated like royalty while traveling. Like royalty. All kinds of free drinks, all kinds of free food, all kinds of, hey, we're just walking by making sure you're okay. You know, is there anything else we can get you? Just constant greeted by the pilot. Just, I'm like, oh my, and I even called Sean. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my God. He's like, yep. And I'm like, all just because I was noticing and loving on people. How crazy is that? So it works whenever he does this. He doesn't prospect. He honestly, we call it prospecting, but he honestly goes around and spreads as much love as possible and then tells people that there's a place that they could learn how to do that and get paid for it.
Wow. Okay. See their beauty and then, okay.
So I would say, Anne, listen, you're helping build the, I find out you're a teacher of primary school children. You're a teacher that's helping build our future. When those children leave you, it's your desire that they continue to have success, right?
Yes.
What if there was a way for you to be able to create your own educational institution that would allow you to ensure your connectedness to those children last for a lifetime? What if you could create a foundation that allows those children, those handful of children out of every class who consider you one of those instrumental people in their world? What if there was a way for you to start a foundation that would allow you to stay connected to those kids for the rest of your life? I've partnered with a company that teaches people how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but I'm sure you do.
Oh, wow.
See, it's not about Sean, it's about Anne.
Mm.
So when you're
Yes.
with prospects, you want to ask, how long have you been doing that? What got you into being so good at working with people? How, you know, what got you interested in that? How did you get started in that job that you like so much? When you find out about people, before long, they're gonna just almost vomit on you everything that's important to them, and you'll find out where to suggest that, oh, I've got something that you might like. But you won't know that until you find out about them. It's not about you, it's about them.
Okay. Got it. So, okay. What about the opposite? Like if they're really kind of, because I've met a few people that are kind of like, they're very much like, I hate life. I'm going through so much crap.
So Anne, it sounds like life has not been good to you. What would need to change in the next 24 hours for you to believe back, to believe in humanity again? For you to say life isn't as bad as it was yesterday. And is it okay if that changes?
What if a miracle could happen? What would that be like for you?
Wow. Where do you come up with these questions? Oh my God, for you to believe in humanity. Okay.
Well, it comes from having prospected lots of people like that, and going through the feeling that you went through, because the feeling that you're in isn't one you want to repeat, right?
Mm.
So you got to do something different. If you recognize everything that you've done, don't ever do that again. Do something completely different. Somebody
Yeah.
goes, life is terrible, try this, and see what their response is.
No, I've done that.
Okay, then try something different.
Yeah. Yeah, my conversations are better now. Like I used to just be like,
I mean, literally make that sound, not just throw up on, go. Is that any better? Do you believe in life a little bit more? Okay, don't do that one.
okay, so practice.
Practice. And that again, that's what we have. That's what the Secret Sauce community is about. You can practice there in the general public one, or you can practice in the private group one for the July group.
Mm.
You
This
can even practice with people that you don't intend to sell them anything. Just go out and find out about them. Start a conversation with somebody and find out what's important to them. What's bothering them? What's their life been like? What did they used to do? Why did they start that job in the first place?
Wow.
And you'll practice learning how to find out about other people.
Okay. Okay,
That-
so I need to develop my people skills.
It's all about them.
Understanding humanity,
Right.
and being aware that people tell fibs,
Yeah.
and your job is to not pay attention to that, know that it's there, and then figure out, is that a story they want to keep doing, right? You know this, Anne. This just downloaded to me. You know this with your kids when they're lying to you in school. I didn't do it, Miss Anne. Now really, Tommy, let's have a conversation. Is that the story you really want to keep telling? Yes, Miss Anne, that's exactly the story. I'm little Timothy. You can't yell at me.
You're so right. Oh my God, how can I forget my kids? Yes.
Right. Well, that's who you're talking to, are kids. They just happen to be in adult bodies.
Oh, that makes so much. Oh, that's so much better. Okay.
And
Change
a
the way you look
lot
at
of them
it.
don't know much more than your kids do.
They know they know, your kids know more because the kids are actually in the state. And the adults know less because they haven't practiced this in a while, and all they've practiced is how to say no. At least your kids will eventually say yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Christopher Robin, there's no more honey. What am I supposed to do now? Oh, it's a shame. Right?
Yeah.
That help, Ann?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome.
Also, I wanted to just share just like an aha moment I had this morning. And it was basically, so you asked, what's your belief in success?
Right.
And I was like, it just gave me this idea, like, why do you have like fears and anxieties when you know what your belief about success is? Like, for me, my belief in success, I don't know if this is right, but my belief is that, I don't think I've ever failed because I always keep going, with things that I want. And I take a long time, and I don't do it in the way that everyone else wants me to do it, or I don't do it according to that time frame. I take a little bit longer, but I always end up achieving what I want to achieve. So then it was like, then why do you like have these kind of moments where you're like, I'm not going to be able to do this, and all these like kind of fears that just sort of crop up? And obviously it's my old story, but it was just a moment where I was just like, I always get everything done that I say I want to get done, and I always achieve what I say I want to achieve. So what's my problem with believing that sometimes that I can't achieve, if that makes sense. So that was like an aha moment to myself.
So here's the question then. If you always achieve what you go after,
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking too small. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yes, and welcome to the world of Sean G. Murphy now. Doesn't that just hit you square in the pants, Ann?
Man, I'm so excited. I just had an aha. You're thinking too small. Oh, crap.
No, it's true. Everything that I've achieved by society standards. So that makes sense.
Yeah. And so what's that phrase? You're the average of the 5 people you hang around.
Mm-hmm.
You're an average of the 5 societies you hang around. So, and this is cultural. This is you about being able to break out, break through, and step into the next level.
Yes. Oh, this is very nice. I'm going to journal this.
Very good. And in the journaling, you do the rewiring.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the rewiring is where you wind up breaking out in a sweat. You know, I've mentored people that they broke out in rashes.
Oh, wow.
Their body was so chemically dependent upon staying where they're at that when they would sit down and they would have a mentoring session, they would show up on a Zoom and it would look like somebody took a red marker and while they were sleeping and somebody drew all over them. So they could never go out and have a conversation about doing the activities for success because they'd always break out. So talk about living life on a installment plan.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Rob. And thank you, Rhonda, and everyone else for listening, because I do ramble. But thank you.
Awesome.
I'm breaking out in a rash because Kayla Cortez is in the house.
Oh my God. Rhonda? Rhonda,
Yes,
are you
ma'am.
there?
I am.
Okay. I just want to say this. I know I didn't raise my hand, but then I forget. Remember you said that Sean made you feel like a queen and you drove with him from North Carolina, remember?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I didn't hear that. Say it to me.
And you drove with him and you know, he was all this and this, that, and that to you. Well, I just want to share this because it's so true when Sean said, we say we know that. We always say we know, but we actually don't know. Because we say, yeah, I know if I give, I get back. I give, I get back. But you said that, and as soon as you said that Sean treat you like this, like that, remember when he asked you to pick me up with the other 2 from the team? Remember?
Yeah.
Okay. You treat us like a team, and he didn't ask you to do that to us. He only told you or asked you to pick us up. Remember, we didn't know you. I mean, I knew you because we talked to you. That was the first time we met. Remember? And you drove us to, well, wherever you drove us, because I still don't know where we were at still to now. And you didn't have to do all the stuff you did for us. And for everybody here to know, she even got us to go to eat wherever we want to eat. And she got us having a free meal because I don't know what she said. And the manager was like, stop everything. And yeah, let's treat these people because it's our first time there. And she got us having like free meal. But why she did that? Why that happened? Also, because you started to talk so nice about the place with the manager, right? So you're wondering what, sometimes we get surprised why people do so many nice things to us, right? But we forget all the nice things we do to others too, right? And there's your answer there. Sean did all that, but you did all that to us, right? You took us to Walmart, I think it was, right? And we were like kids running everywhere. Plus, we were surprised that we didn't see no cashier person there. We were like, where we pay? I guess we felt like we were, I don't know, kid jar or something. And I know probably that wasn't so fun for you, but you act like it was fun for
Oh, it was a
you too.
blast. Are you kidding? I loved it.
And I was like, she's here for the first time, and I bet she's been in Walmart like a bunch of times. And that's what you gave us. So that's why you receive in return from Shine. And I bet you receive that in return from many people. So that proof right there, that when we give and we share our happiness, our love to people, we end up receiving the same thing back. Sometimes we just don't analyze, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But it is like that. The more we give, the more heart we put on things, the more smile we give. That's what we're gonna get back. So I just want to share it.
You mentioned something, and I want you to see it from my eyes for just a quick second. When y'all came and I picked you up at the airport, and we all piled in the car and we took off, and we went to Walmart, and we went to Chick-fil-A, and we did everything we needed to do. Sure, I've been to those places, but I've never been to those places with y'all, and I've never seen y'all in those places. And that gave me so much joy to see y'all and to sit in your joy while you were enjoying these moments, that I thought to myself, if I went to their country, this is what they would do for me. And they would sit and giggle and watch me have so much fun with all the things that are normal to them. I'm just going to sit back and watch it. And y'all, it was so funny. We walked into the doors of Walmart, and there was probably 5 of us, and it went all different directions. And I thought, oh no, where'd they all go? And a couple of them don't even speak English. I'm like, oh, where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? And so it was quite hilarious, because I'd run down this aisle and I'd find one over here, and then I'd run down this aisle and I'd find one over here, and I'm like, okay, where's the other 3? Where are they? Where'd they go? And I had more fun watching y'all enjoy and watching y'all shop. So
and when we didn't know how to pay, remember, like, where is the people here to collect the money? We were like, what's wrong in this place?
we did self-checkout, and they were all like, oh my gosh, what is this? So it was so much fun. And just so y'all will know, I took them to Chick-fil-A because we went through 3 drive-thrus. And they didn't find anything they liked. So I had to keep telling the people in drive, I'm sorry, we're going to change restaurants. So we would leave and we'd go to another drive-thru. No, nothing there. Leave and go through. And I was like, what do y'all like? And somebody said chicken. I'm like, okay, we're going to Chick-fil-A. So I took him to Chick-fil-A, and we walk in, and the manager, someone comes up, you know how Chick-fil-A is. They're like, okay, may I help you? How may I help you? And everybody's really quick to help you. And they were all getting the deer in the headlights look. And I said, listen, we've got one that speaks English besides me. They understand English, but they're not going to communicate with you well in English. So they're a little intimidated. They've never been here before. You got to give us a minute. And the manager steps up, and she's like, where are y'all from? And I was like, well, we've got Colombia, we've got Costa Rica, we've got Panama, we've got somebody, visiting from Mexico, but not original to Mexico. And she's like, what? And so right then and there, she told him, you can have anything you want on the menu, and it's on us. Everything's taken care of. And so I told Kayla, I said, tell them they can order whatever they want. She's going to pay for everything. And oh my gosh. And then after, I know, it was crazy. And then after that, we show them how to get through everything. And how it is at Chick-fil-A. And as we're leaving, the manager comes from behind the counter and stands at the door and hugs every one of them as we leave, and then hugs me. Y'all, I have never had more fun. It was so much fun to be there and to see, because this manager was working, man, she was busy, and her whole brain was yanked out of busy and into a moment of pure love like that. And Kayla, that was such a blessing to me. I love that. That's one of my favorite times. I think I told Sean about every detail traveling with y'all. I loved it. I thought it was wonderful.
Well, the one memory I was going to remind Kayla where Rhonda did have, where it did really sink into her is every time you'd go, Jewel. She goes, my shoulder is killing me. I have to sit on the other side of Kayla.
The right shoulder, because I always drove. So my right shoulder, and Kayla has fingernails that are like that long. And I'm not kidding. I mean, they're like that long, but they're not that long. And they're always just real pretty, literally. I mean, she has like these amazing fingernails. And I'm driving, and she always goes, Jewel, Jewel need to be at the next Club 90. Jewel, Jewel. And I'm like, Kayla. It was so much fun. So I told Sean, I was like, I'm gonna have to sit on the left side. I need Kayla over here.
So as you listen to this story, let me bring it back into network marketing. Think about this. How many of you have heard this story? Just listen to that story and your brain went to network marketing. How many of you can use this story to go build your business? If you'd like me to teach you how to use this story that was just exchanged, this life-changing story, how you can use it to build your business, type a B in the chat and I'll tell you how to use it. So you heard the story that they drove through 3 drive-thrus. They couldn't find what they wanted. How many people are running around through the drive-thru of life and can't find what they wanted? Now you get to tell the story. Hey, listen, have you ever been to a drive-thru, a new place, and you looked at it and you looked at the menu and you went, there's nothing really here. But you said, I got to order something. I'm too embarrassed to leave. And you've ordered something off a menu you didn't want. You've ordered something off of the menu called life you didn't want. And then you had to pay for the dang thing. And then you got to the drive-thru and you went, ugh, I don't even want this. And now you throw that away. How many of you have ever done that in life? You've paid for something that you didn't want. You bought something, an idea, a concept. You've gone through a drive-thru and you bought it because you were in the drive-thru. It was either out of convenience or out of fear to say, no, I'm not good enough. So you see how you can use that. You get to tell this story about Rhonda and 3 crazy Latinas. The second thing is that when they finally found what they want, what do you want? Rhonda asked a question. She was driving around being nice, taking them to all different places. How many of you have taken people to events, to conference calls, to webinars, and they didn't like any of that? How many of you finally say, what do you want? That's why I teach you these questions. Permission to help, permission to make you feel uncomfortable, take you out of the uncomfortable feeling. How can I be of service? And then sit and pay attention. I want to know what drive-thru you want to go through because I can take you to any drive-thru in the world. So now they get to the chicken drive-thru. They go in. Ay, Dios mío, yo no hablo nada de la, yo no entiendo nada. They don't speak the language. How many people are joining you in business don't speak the language called network marketing? How many of you are trying to teach them? How many of you are trying to ring them up, cook the food, deliver the food, clean the tables, mop the floors? Your job is to point them in the right direction. Your job is to find the manager, your upline, and say, can you help them? Listen, they don't understand a dang thing. So you're going to have to do it slowly. And all of a sudden she said, well, where are you from? Do you have an upline, a sponsor that says, hey, where are you guys from? What place of lack, what place of concern, what place of fear are you from? And then all of a sudden, when they found out, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, it's on us. Shouldn't your presentation take away all the fear for them to begin to consume your food? How easy do you make it for somebody to go, I like this? Because I promise you, if you get them back in a car again, the first thing they're going to do is Kayla's going to poke Rhonda in the arm and go, Ju, that chicken place. Do you know that chicken place? Ju, I want to go there. ¿Usted quiere pollo? ¿Quiere poner recuerdo de pollo? Vamos a pollo. And people want to go back to the place they had good memories. The challenge, the reason people dislike our profession is because nobody's had one good memory ever. So, can we help people have better memories? See how you get to use that story about an East Texas girl takes 3 international women of success in business don't speak the language and give them a memory they've never had before? Isn't that all we're supposed to do? Aren't we just the tour guides of success in our profession? You want it, don't want it. You want chicken, don't want chicken. You want steak, you want steak. You want chicken, you want steak. Okay, we're going here and we're going there. It's the same place. They just look at it differently. Does that help, y'all? Thank you, Kayla, for sharing that. And this, again, this is how my brain works. Everything is a leadership story. Everything is a leadership story. How can I use that to have a conversation with the next person? Hey, listen, you ever been through a drive-through? Listen, I don't know about you. My first time in Puerto Rico with my bad Spanish, anybody ever go through a drive-through where you don't speak the language and you try to order something going, I want this, I want that, I want this, and your bill should be like $8? My first bill at McDonald's was $35. I don't know what the hell I bought. And I sure as hell wasn't going to tell them, I didn't order all of that. No, todo bien. $35. What the hell is in here? 6 cheeseburgers. And because every time you said it, it was like the old Saturday Night Live, cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. And all of a sudden you got 85 cheeseburgers. It's like, what the hell? Quiere más grande? Yes. Oh, so now all of a sudden it's, I don't know what the hell happened. But it was $35. I'm like, oh my God. And no fries. Anyways. Because, and again, if you've ever been through a drive-through, if you've ever been around a Puerto Rican, you think Colombians speak fast? Forget it. Puerto Ricans are like a cat with its tail on fire. It's crazy. Anyways, let's go to Bezzy. BZ, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was like listening, and then I don't know what you call my name. I was like, back to the world. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
So I totally forgot what I was gonna ask, but I think I do. Okay. Let me rewind. Okay. Okay. So yesterday, I had a dream, right? I had a dream that give me 1 second. My dog is crying.
No.
I had a dream that I was drowning, right? And I've never had a dream that I was drowning, like never in my life, right? Or unless I just don't remember. But it was so vivid before, like I had the dream before I woke up. So maybe that's why I remember it. But I was drowning and I can't swim. So I know I have to learn how to swim, but I can't swim. So I was drowning and someone ended up coming to, save me. Right. And while they were like, taking me to the top or like shore, a car started heading towards us. Right. A car started heading towards us. And I got scared. And we ended up swimming through the window frame, right? We ended up swimming through the window frame. It didn't even have any glass. And then we went through it, and then we ended up going, getting to the top, and I was able to breathe, and I didn't drown. So I kind of looked it up, and I was just like, that was weird. Like, that was such a weird dream, and it was just so vivid. And I was like, usually I'm not able to remember my dreams, or even I'm like me drowning. So I looked it up, and it was like something about like emotional rebirth or something. So I wanted to ask you, what was your take on that?
Well, you weren't wet, so you got it's drowning is when you get really focused. Right. Everybody, you've probably heard phrases in personal development, you'll get what you want when you're like the guy that's fighting for his last breath of air. The challenge is that the body really doesn't care what the mind thinks. You can say, you know what, I'm going to kill myself and hold my breath. I promise you, after 2 minutes, your body's going to go, you'll pass out and you'll breathe on your own. The body's going, you ain't taking us out. Drowning
Right.
it is rebirth. Drowning is you having to look at things in a different way. The car coming, well, somebody came and rescued you and drug you out of the water, right?
Yeah.
So do you know who that was?
I had no clue. Like that's the weird. Like I don't remember the person that did it or not.
Okay.
But it was weird.
It was a version of you,
Yeah.
right? So that's the higher version of you, the king, the queen, the magician, the lover, the warrior who came and saved you. And then who's in a car? A car, they didn't come to you on foot, they didn't come on horseback. So there's some things that your use of technology to take you to the next level is right in front of you. So you don't have to keep this drudgery of installment plans.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
all of that to say, it's awesome that you had it. It's awesome that you remember it. You've probably had it multiple times, but because you're awakening, you're starting to see this. Drowning is one of the scariest things that anybody could ever experience.
Really, like it felt so weird. Like
But here's the thing. You want to talk about crazy? You want to talk about crazy? You want to talk about being able to have this championship DNA in your body? First of all, you're 1.5 million sperm and egg that met. There's only a handful of eggs, but there was 500,000 sperm, right? Wag their tail 18,000 times and doing it one time faster, let you show up. Then here's the thing. 9 months, you're this water entity, you're this water species, and instantly you come out of the water and turn into this air breathing species, and you're going, man, life is tough. They don't like my posts on Facebook or Instagram. Are you kidding me? In the blink of 30 seconds, you go from a water breathing entity to an air breathing entity, and you think you really need somebody on Facebook to like you?
right.
Yeah, but
True.
society says this is finding your secret sauce. Your secret sauce is already wired into you as a DNA champion, as a champion of champions.
Yes.
That help?
Yeah, it really did. I have another question. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so basically, your calls are the only calls that like are like comfortable for me to really, face my public speaking problem or whatever.
Doesn't sound like you
And
have a problem to me. I love it.
right, and it's weird because it's only your calls. Like I will hop on. Like yeah, of course I could. Usually when I talk in front of a crowd, like my voice goes out. Right, my voice goes out. I get choked up. Like, and it's so weird and it's so annoying because I can't control it, and it's so like, and it's like what's it called? Like a week ago, my upline, like my upline had called me and was like, hey Bezzy, like it was 8 minutes to this big presentation for like a op call, and there was gonna be like 100 some people on there, and then they called me and they're like, hey Bezzy, like 8 minutes before, hey Bezzy, like you're gonna be opening the and hosting the call tonight, so go ahead and get ready. I was like I started shaking, like I wasn't even talking and my heart just started busting out of my chest. And it's like, and like even me talking to him about the call, it was just making me get choked up already. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to mess this up for everybody. Like I really don't want to, that's going to be a lot of prospects on the call, and I do not want to mess it up for them. Like, for everybody on my team and things like that. So I was just like, I don't know, like I'll do it, but I told him, I was like, look, like my voice goes out when I, do public speaking, and I don't want that to happen, and this and the third. And he's just like, oh, you're gonna do great, you're a beast. Da, da, da. I'm like, look, I know, but I'm not gonna be able to control my voice when it goes out. Like, and they're like, are you gonna be able to do it? I'm like, I mean, if I have to, I'll do it. Da, da, da. They're like, oh, well, like, you gotta let me know if you're really up to it. Da, da, da. I was like, I mean, if you can find someone else. And I was just like, dang, I kind of felt bad because I disappointed them. But it's like, I would have felt much worse if I went on there and, and my whole fear just took over me. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to control my emotions, because I'm reading emotional intelligence, and there was a story in there that said, I don't know if anybody read it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people read it. It's really a good book. But in the story, it was said there was a shark in the beginning, right? No, this guy was in the ocean. He was gonna go. He went all the way further from his friends, and he was gonna ride the tide. The wave, right? And while the wave was coming, the shark came out of nowhere, like from the wave, I guess. And instead of taking the wave to the shore, his fear took over him and crippled him, and he was just there. And the wave went past him, and now it was him and the shark. So that's I really love that story, to be honest with you, because it really gives perspective on like how our emotions could really cripple us if we don't have control of it, right? So anyways, I was just like, I hate that I don't have control of my fears, and the thing is,
Bezzy, let me ask you a question.
yeah,
When would you like to?
right now.
Okay, what story has to change for you to have control over your fears?
I don't know. I think every time I'm on a call with like people,
What story has to change? Not what environment has to change. What story has to change?
I don't know.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Yes,
Would you listen to the suggestion?
of course.
Cool. So here's a suggestion. No matter what call I'm on, I'm only one person. It matters not how many that are there. I'm going to do the best to serve me.
Okay.
Because you're
Let me
being,
write that down.
because you're attempting to be responsible for them, not to them. Who do you have control over?
Myself.
So be the best you.
Okay.
So here you talked in front of 33 people, and not one time has your voice cracked.
Right. Isn't that so weird?
No, it's not at all. I have a filter on my calls that says nobody's voice cracks.
I guess. Yeah, you're right. And
It's not about me being right. It's about the situation being right. Just look at it going, hey, listen, I get to share me. People get to meet me. And they're going to like me, goofy, funny, brilliant, however I show up. All I can do is take care of me.
Yeah, I think that's my problem. When I'm talking, and I lose my train of thought while I'm talking too, because like I have a lot to say, but it's just sometimes when I get in front of people, well, all the time, well, not this time. When I get in front of people, when in my mind, I'm just thinking about all those people. Like, what are those people thinking? Like, what are those people are thinking about what I'm saying right now? And then I just from all that like burden of me thinking about everybody else, I just lose my train of thought, and then I'm like, okay, now I don't even know what I'm saying, and then boom, it goes out.
So how would you like a physical solution for that?
Worry about myself.
No, a physical solution, not an emotional one, a physical one that'll help you not have that issue anymore.
I'm not sure.
So you wouldn't like to solve the problem of getting lost or getting distracted? You're okay with that?
Oh no. I would love to solve that.
Okay, so if I could give you a physical solution that you could easily do and hold in your hands, would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so write down the 3 bullets that you're supposed to do when you introduce, and you just repeat those bullets.
Oh, okay.
Welcome people, where are they from, whatever it is that you do, but there's only a handful of things, and you're presenting to a marching band. There's new people coming onto the call. There's new people in the call. And once the call starts, there's only two or three things you're supposed to do anyways, as introducing somebody or introducing the call.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what you told them, and turn it over.
Okay.
And put that on a 3x5 card. Then you won't get lost.
Facts. I'm gonna do that.
Well, I teach public speaking, and I've taught it for 20 years.
Really? Oh my goodness. Oh, I wish I was in your class.
Well, you're in it right now, so.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That's great. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys how it goes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Gina, let's go to Gina. Are you still conditioning, girl?
Oh no, they were cooking. The curlers was cooking. It wasn't dry yet yesterday, so I couldn't take them out. Okay, but before we start, can you reset? Like, can you repeat the bullet points that you just told Bezzy? The welcome. Tell them what.
So in any public speech,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what you told them.
Okay.
Right? When people say, "Well, I've been asked to speak," where they go, "You got an hour," and if I look at the lineup and if there's anybody who's from the Latin world, I know that I'm going to be the one cut to 20 minutes because it takes Latinos 30 minutes to say hello. So if you have an hour-long speech, could you imagine you prepared for an hour and now they go, cut it into 20 minutes. Everybody's going to pass out and just die right there on the floor because it's, well, I have everything. I have a beginning, middle, and an end, but it's an hour. Nobody knows how to shorten their presentation. That's where you understand, and I teach vignettes. And when you teach vignettes are these little 3 to 5 minute stories. So you go, okay, pull that one, pull this one, pull that one. Now I've got a 22-minute speech and I can do it. And they're all memorized. This idea of speaking off the cuff, that's for amateurs. Oh, I like to be in the moment. That's for amateurs. That's people who don't understand their responsibility when they stand in front of the room. I like to just go with the feel. I like to go with the feel too, but I've got 235 vignettes that allow me to go with the feel. So tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what you told them. If you're doing it, and if you're doing the welcome up until the start time, all you have to do is repeat, welcome everybody, tell me where you're from. We're getting started at 10 o'clock. You're going to hear these three bullet points of information, and repeat. And just repeat. And there should never be any dead air when you're doing the welcome call.
Okay. So what I raised my hand for.
Yep.
First, I want to say thank you to Anne. Because of back when you were writing your list of 1,000 things, you were looking through all of like the old certificates that you got. And it jogged my memory of where my old certificates were. And I'm grateful that my parents never throw anything away. So I found certificates from like elementary school and middle school and high school. And I was like, wow, I guess I never congratulated myself for getting these things. Because I always just thought as a piece of paper. Because I don't want to sound braggy, but I used to get a lot because they used to give them out every quarter. And I would just like, okay, there's another one. Okay, yeah. And I would just toss it to the side. But looking back at it, I was like, wow, you did all of that. I was like, you go. So thank you, Anne, for reminding me about that. And what else did I want to say? Yeah. And then yesterday, when you spoke about the video that I made and I didn't sound nervous, it really had me thinking. And I feel as though when I do the videos, I'm not nervous, but part of me is nervous to like do the action. I don't know if it's the old story telling myself that I'm nervous or telling myself that I'm concerned or I'm scared. But then part of me is,
So stop. Do you think it's the new story telling you you're scared?
no.
So then you know it's the old story and tell it to pack its bags and get the heck out. Thank you. You're not welcome right now. I'm going to listen to the news story.
But then
See,
part of
again, because we say, oh, I don't know if it is. You absolutely know what it is. This is how you don't take control of what you want. I'm not sure. I want to be nice to the old story. Tell the old story, get the heck out. You're not serving me right now. Thank you. I appreciate you. You protected me from all the other times, but I'm prepared. The news story says I'm ready. Does the news story say you're ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it like you mean it.
Because as I was thinking about it,
You didn't say it like
yeah.
you mean it. Answer yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That
You
was
ain't
like,
getting
I
off
don't know
the hook.
I don't know if I'm like overthinking because I tend to do that.
Wait
Probably
a
am.
second. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Say I am overthinking. We just went
I am.
through the I don't know. Say I'm overthinking and it doesn't serve me well.
Okay, I'm overthinking and it doesn't serve me well.
Okay, good. Well, say it like the queen that you are. If you were the queen, if you were the sovereign queen of your kingdom, is that how the queen would speak? I guess I'm overthinking it.
No.
I love you, but
Right.
you don't get a pass anymore.
Mhm.
Just because you're beautiful and cute.
I'm overthinking and it doesn't serve me well.
Right? So what would underthinking be? Getting it done. Okay, so when do you want to get it done?
No. I did put it on my list today. I actually planned my day today, so I'm proud of myself. And I put that on the list of things to do today. And
Awesome.
I did
What time is it to be done?
Hold on. Oh gosh, no. Hold on. Hold on.
See, Ann thinks this is fun because it's not at her.
What time did I set it?
And all of you think this is fun because it's not at you. But if you hang out with me long enough, one time it'll be directed through you. And I don't see anybody jumping in the way of Gigi to stop the bullet. So
It's 1
what time is it? What time do you have it scheduled for, Gigi?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Great. 1 o'clock in your Eastern time?
Yeah.
How long will it take you to do it?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Maybe I'm gonna shoot for 2.
So an hour?
Yes.
An hour to do a video.
It probably won't take that long, but
Just asking.
I want to give myself some, some breathing
No,
room.
no. What time are you going to push the go button?
At 1 o'clock.
Okay. So how long are you going to talk, do you think?
Okay, 1:30.
You're going to talk for half an hour?
Oh, Sean. Okay.
This is a new story. I love you. You don't get a
1:15.
pass. So 1:15. So are you doing live or are you doing a recording?
A recording.
Okay. So how many takes are you going to allow?
I gotta put a limit.
Yeah. Because otherwise you'll be 4 o'clock going, I don't like that one.
You got me sweating.
Good. This is a rewiring. Somebody asked earlier, how do you rewire? This is how you rewire.
I'm just a sweat. Oh my gosh. Okay, 2 takes.
2 takes. And so how long do you plan on speaking? Like a 5-minute presentation? I love you.
Gigi, you want me to get the bat? You want me to get it? I'll do it.
And I'm right there with you. I feel you. I'm right there. So, Gigi, here's one thing that hit me when Sean keeps telling you to speak in your queen voice and how to find that voice. You spent all that time putting your hair in rollers, correct?
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time to process your hair, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to throw it on Sean so you don't get mad at me. If Sean walked over and yanked your cap off and started taking out your rollers yesterday, how would you handle that?
Oh, I would have snatched Sean up.
Exactly. So that's where he's telling you to get with your old story. Snatch it up.
You can't
Just
do
a thought.
that. See, you have an expectation. There's an expectation when you take your cap off and you take the rollers out that you're supposed to look a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And you've set yourself up to be as close to that look as you could be. Some days it's like, man, that turned out great. And some days, not as good as I thought it would. But you have an expectation and you have a window that you're going to say that was good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving you I'm narrowing your window from an hour for a recording of 3 minutes down to get it done. Listen, this would be what video? What number video would this be that you're going to put out? Is it number 1, number 500? Do you know?
Number 2.
Number 2. It's going to suck. It won't suck as bad as the first one. It ain't going to be perfect, because this is what you need. If it's perfect, you've waited too long. It's going to be better than most. You know whose it's going to be 100 times better than? Your second video is going to be 1,000 times better than whose?
My first one?
The person who doesn't do one.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Right? So you're already 200 times better than the person who hasn't done it. Do you think there's still people out there going, well, one day I'm going to do it? Aren't you a leader now? You've done 2. They've done none. Don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to Rhonda or anybody else who's done videos. It's how many have you done? And are there people who haven't done any? Do the thing you have to do until you don't have to do it. Bob Proctor. Listen, and the one you sent me was like you've done 100 videos.
I actually posted it in the group chat. I was like, you know what, just post it. Yeah.
And did you?
Yeah, I put it in the secret sauce chat.
Good. And I bet everybody went, oh, that's cool. Nobody went, oh, well, her lighting. Oh, well, she said she was going to have a backdrop. Oh, well. No, they love you to see you. Give them a chance to see you.
Why is it so hard for me to be seen?
Because
allow myself to be seen.
And you don't even know if anybody sees it, because you're being responsible for them, not to them. Don't be responsible for them. Listen, I show up here every day. I hit the start button. I don't know what's going to happen. You guys know that. But when the conversation comes up, I show up. Somebody responds, you show up. Just go give them what you need. People need you. We need Gigi in our world. The world needs Gigi. The world needs every one of you.
Sean, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Gigi, what are you still holding on to? That when you speak, that keeps, like, I know that confident, strong woman is in there. Something, and I know you're fighting to hold on to the old story. I get that. But I don't get it from the sense that when I let go of what was bothering me, my confidence, my strength, it just, like, the clouds just rolled away. As Sean said, the lighthouse, you know, the clouds are gone. So I would ask you, what are you still holding on to that's holding you back? And I know a lot of times I jump the gun because I'm very blunt in how I say it. And I know a lot of times, you know, like Sean said, you know, sometimes these people aren't ready for that. But Gigi, you're ready. You're ready.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay, Gigi, do you remember when you learned to drive a car?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember holding to the steering wheel and not being able to control what your mind was telling you to do, left or right or ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. Every time I go and I do a video, and I am still learning, not a professional, and I've been doing them off and on since 2016. Here's what I can say from my experience. The person that introduced me to the video world said, just do it. People love imperfections because it's curiosity that you're discovering. So instead of looking at your faults during the speech, the accent, the clarity of your message, just open the camera and do it, because there's people that are going to look at you and say, wow, she's so imperfect. And I'm talking about me, not you, because you look like a professional when you do it. And they would say to me, just do it. And you know, when I watch this couple that promotes video making, They had so much fun as a couple doing the videos that it was like a comedy show, like watching Sean. So what I did when I went to the video, my video, I said, wow, I'm just gonna have as much fun looking at myself, trying to improve. You know, a lady at 66 making videos, my family would say she's nuts. She should be just a grandma. She's retired from teaching. Her career and her gift was in teaching. Why is she doing this? She's never been about money, and they tell me all these things. And the truth is, I love to talk and communicate. I love to sing. That's one of my dreams. So when you do your video, think of the things that make you happy and forget why you get fearful. One day you're gonna wake up like I did 2 days ago, and you're gonna say, wow, it was all about this in my past. Oh, now I put a check. Go for it, girl. You're
So-
wonderful for your video.
That's awesome advice, Delia. Thank you. Gigi, here's the challenge.
Mhm.
From the question of Michelle, what's holding you back,
I think you can go back to this.
to Delia saying just do it.
Mhm.
The challenge is that right now your wiring won't let you come up with an answer, and it's going to keep you from doing it.
I-
That's just the wiring.
Yeah.
So here's the bigger question. What happens if somebody sees you and it helps them? How would that make you feel?
Make you feel good.
Okay. So is feeling good better than feeling bad?
Yeah.
And can you get through whatever it is to get through to help one person feel better about themselves?
Yes.
Do you think if somebody hears your story, they're going to look at you and go, that was valuable to me?
Yes.
Okay. So can you do it for them and not for you?
Yeah.
You're sitting there worrying about doing this for you. My mentor would say, get over yourself and get on with life. Somebody needs you. You're not responsible for them, but do you believe there's one person in the world that if they see you, you might save their life?
Yeah.
So if that one person, now, does it matter when they see it?
Yeah.
No. So is it okay if you get it out there?
Yeah.
And do you think the perfect video will save their life, or the little imperfect video will save their life?
No, I'm perfect.
Could be both, because to them you may seem perfect.
Is there such a thing as a perfect video?
Because the perfect ones we find fault with.
Well, you know, the ones that I think are perfect, I did everything right, are my worst videos.
Yep.
They have no interaction. It touches no one. And I spent all this time trying to perfect it, to do everything right and correct. And it was meaningless because by society standards, I did it the right way.
Yep.
And it had no meaning to anyone.
Gigi, you have the Beamish approval. He came in when you. Yes, tell Gigi she got to do the video.
You want to watch him go away? Because every time I talk, he runs away.
So, Gigi, do it. Have a conversation. Have a conversation. Right? Have a conversation. Listen, do you think you've got 33 people that would support you?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we'll do the daisy chain of calls, and when Gigi sends her gets her call done, we'll post it in the secret sauces to go like the video. Listen, this is the part what keeps us stuck. And the biggest part of this that nobody teaches is this. Gigi, are you ready for the love?
That's the question that keeps running through my head.
I know. Are you ready for the love? Yes or yes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Y'all send some love to Gigi. Just tell her you love her now before the video. Say great video.
Great video, Gigi. Love you.
I loved
Woo,
it.
Amazing
Love you.
video.
Love it
Amazing.
so much. It helped me so much.
Really
You
great.
Loved it.
You got
Loved
this,
it.
girl. You got this.
You got it. You got this.
I want to say yes, I'm ready for the love, but so I feel like, oh, here comes the chest pain again. But like, I feel like the wounded lover is like, no.
Right. So if the wounded lover is showing up, who would need to tell the wounded lover it's going to be okay? The warrior, the magician, or the queen?
Queen.
Okay. And what would the queen say?
There's no need to worry.
Right. And why? And the lover's going to go, well, yeah, easy for you to say. Tell me why I don't need to worry. And the queen says,
Because I got you.
yep. And the lover goes, yeah, but you're the queen. You're not going to do anything. And then she's going to remind him, have you seen the size of the warrior outside? Have you seen that big ass warrior? Have you seen what she's been able to do? You think anything's going to get past her? And then the queen also says, all we have to do is go talk to the magician. And what would the magician say to the lover?
Poof.
Bingo. Look at the smile that's back on your face with a poof. It is that simple, my love.
I just make it so hard.
But that's because it's the lover. Tell the lover, listen, you go to Lover's Lane and you go hang out and neck over there, and we've got the warrior, the queen, and the magician taking care of all of this. Get a little sweaty under the
Just a tad bit.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Cool. And you have me on speed dial. You have Rhonda on speed dial, and noon my time. The queen, the magician, and the warrior are going to do something, and the lover's just going to go, y'all got this? Yeah, we got it. Sit your butt down. Okay. So Rhonda, at about 11:45, we'll set an alarm. And we'll have a conversation with the queen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody.
Go to Corinne. Hello, Corinne.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, my love.
Good morning. Yeah, Gigi. Gigi's amazing. You're amazing, Gigi. And everything you are. Good morning, Anne. Everything that you are going through and experiencing, I'm experiencing at the same time. Of like, I think this is the old story. Oh wait, no, this is definitely the old story. It just got so comfortable, and so I'm just like, my question is like, how long does it take to build the new story, and how do I keep reminding myself that I'm building a new story without going back to the old story for like long periods of time, and like, you know?
So let me ask your mind a question. Would you like the story of the answer of having to buy something and spend money on something, and how long would you want to have to spend money on it? Or would you like the simple answer?
Simple answer, please.
Cool. Until you decide, until you make the decision, the cutting off. Once you cut off the old story, it can show back up, but you can say, thank you, not right now. Part of this is, Corinne, is to thank the old story. The old story isn't, it's like that little whiny kid that hasn't been, that knows it can get your attention because it just gets your attention. The way it stops getting your attention is you say, I love you. Oh, okay. I don't need to use you, but I love you. Thank you for being here. It's not necessary for you right now. Anything I can do before I let you go? And you let it go. You literally have to say that out loud. And listen, you'll go nuts going like every other minute going, oh, old story, thank you. But if it's true, what we resist persists. Why my old story won't go away? Because you keep resisting it. It got you here. Einstein said it can't get you out of here. And the key is once the old story no longer takes center space and time in your life, talk to the new story. Have you ever had a friend, you and a friend be talking, and all of a sudden somebody new comes up and your old friend comes up and says, and you go, wait a minute, you put them on hold while you're having a conversation with the new story. You all ever do that before? Somebody neat comes along and you stop talking to the old, go, listen, I'll get back to you in a second. I don't know how long this new story is going to hang out. Let me talk to them. Do that with this. And let your old story puff and huff and go, and eventually it'll go away.
Okay. And please.
No, I was going to say, we can make it complicated. We can go into all of these things, but but all of that is just fodder and crap on top of crap on top of old crap on top of stuff, and you debate and deliberate until is the answer.
Okay. And part of my news story. So just quickly, what is the video? Because I still didn't get the recording yet.
Okay.
So what's the video that we?
So each morning, if you go into the Secret Sauce the July 2020 Club, put your 3 intentions for the day. You can either do it in video or in chat.
Okay, did that.
Awesome.
Oh, it's just that, or every morning?
Every morning.
Every morning. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, how many days would you like to have success?
Every morning. Okay. Gotcha.
I love you.
I'm glad Corinne brought up the replay because I have not been able to access the web recording either.
Okay. I'll make sure that we'll figure out a way to get it to you. Is it because you can't find it in the back office, or you just...
When I click to view the recording, it goes, nothing happens.
Okay.
I mean, I go to another screen, but there's no recording there.
All right. I'll check it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This is what happens when you're the founders.
And that's what I figured. I was going to send Rhea an email this morning and
Please do.
just hadn't done it yet.
To her. You can send her one.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Awesome. And I'll check it. Thank you.
Thank you,
What else,
Sean.
Corinne? Does that help?
It helps a lot. It helps a lot. And it's that what you just said, which is every morning. Because yesterday I was like, I did great. No, the day before yesterday I did great with my old story.
Yep.
And I was like, yesterday I was like, and then it started coming up today, but then that's why I was like, okay, I need to do something different. I got to do something different. And it's just every day.
Because what this does is it's to rewire the brain to physically and emotionally hold yourself accountable to a conversation that you're not used to having. We all talk about it. We all say we write it, but this is the difference between now thinking it and writing it and saying it. A lot of times when we're having conversations with prospects, the reason the questions I ask is because it's the first time they've ever heard the answer to that question when it comes out of their mouth. When people start to hear their own dialogue, they take on a whole new understanding. So what we post, Wajia, is what 3 tasks do you want to accomplish? What 3 goals do you want to accomplish today?
Today, okay.
Yep. And then at night, if you want to do a little follow-up, yeah, I hit it all. I didn't. I need some help with this.
And do we tag you in these videos?
That'd be awesome.
Thank you so much for this program. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Let's go to Daniela.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Outstanding.
So I have a question. Well, I first want to tell you, yesterday I had a spectacular day. I was so nice to myself. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Is that a good thing?
Yes, it's an amazing thing.
Cool.
Um,
Is it worth doing again?
yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So my kind of goals are going to be a little similar to today, from yesterday's. But my question is, well, I kind of have two questions. One question is, do you lose people as you find your secret sauce? That's my first question.
Okay. I'm going to let people type in the chat a Y or an N. And when you find your secret sauce, do you think you'll keep people or lose people? Do you think there's a chance you'll lose people? Yes or no? Type it in the chat. Okay.
Okay.
So everybody's
Here's
saying
my
that.
answer.
What was that?
Yeah. It was
Oh.
tail.
Tail. Okay, good. Wasn't sure if it was Halloween.
No, it's tail.
So yes.
He answered it for me. Yes. And then second question is, when people realize your change, and not that they're not adapting to it, but the fact that like they're feeling like they're being left behind, how do you go about something like that?
Tell them. So you say, hey, listen, I'm on a personal journey. I'm going through some learning curves. I'm awakening to some things. I'm doing my best to get rid of some old stories. So if you see some things changing in me, first of all,
Yeah.
let me know you see them change. But second of all, I'm going to invite you on the journey. Either way is fine, but I'm going forward. So I may sound different. I may not get back to you in time. We may spend more time together. I don't know what's going to come out on the other side of this, but is it okay if I take this journey?
Okay.
Or you can keep it quiet and mope about it and complain that they're not doing it, and then stay stuck in your old story because they didn't let you out of it. Or you can just say, I'm moving forward. Please join me. And if not, I'll always be here when I have chances to be here with you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yep.
Well, I'll see you later.
Thank you. Love you bunches.
Love you bunches.
And Riley. Good morning, Riley. Oh, me. Yes, me. Look at that smile.
Hi. I don't really have a question, but it was just kind of about like speaking, because I have my first time running a potentials call with my team tonight.
Awesome.
And I'm super like anxious about it. Like I've been doing better, like getting open to being uncomfortable and like just like realizing that that's a good thing. But I still have that like doubt within myself that like I can't do it.
Yep.
And like I know it comes from my past, and I'm ready for you to rip me apart over this because it's I know it's because of like class presentations. I used to get teased for them all the time, so now I just like I don't feel like it's something that I can do because I've never done it since then.
Okay.
So I don't know how to like.
So what are you going to be speaking on tonight?
It'll basically just be like my story and introducing, like telling the people that the team has coming on the call, like what we're about and like what they would be joining. So just kind of like introducing them to it.
How much information do you need to learn between now and the call? Is there how much new information do you need to know, or do you know it already?
I know everything. It's just how it's structured and how I'm going to say it.
So how much time will you be speaking? Are you doing the introduction from like 10 minutes before the call, or are you doing it from when the call starts? You're doing the initial introduction to move people into then turn it over. Tell me the structure.
Well, like I'll be introducing myself and kind of telling my story about the business and like how it's helped me so far. And, I'll pass it over to the girl that I'm doing it with, and she'll do the same thing. And then we'll both kind of bounce off of each other talking about the business.
Okay, so this is something for your team, or is this something for a global community?
It's for our team.
Awesome. And does your team like you?
I hope so, yeah.
Okay. I'm just, again, I ask very basic questions. So do you think your team is there to support you?
Yeah.
Okay. So could you ask them for support?
Yeah.
Are you doing a Zoom?
Yes.
Is there a chat?
Yep.
So before you get started, say, hey, listen, everybody, it's Riley. Can I ask you all before I get started? I'm a little nervous. Can you just drop a heart in the chat for me and see what your face just did?
Yeah.
Isn't that going to make the call? Look at that face. Look how beautiful that smile is. It's okay for you to ask for help, my love. The audience wants to give you help because you're already in the front of the room. They don't want to be in the front of the room. They're glad you're in the front of the room. And if they can do anything to keep you in the front of the room, they're going to stay in the back of the room. So you get to ask them for help.
Okay, I can't even see my screen right now. I'm like,
So
yeah.
do you know your story?
Yeah.
How long does it take to tell your story?
See, that's where I'm like, because I haven't actually like ever kind of like told it, so I don't know what I need to like.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about you. So so Riley, I don't know that you and I have spoken before. Have we spoken before?
Just Instagram.
Okay,
No.
so can I ask you 3 quick questions, my love?
Of course.
Do I have your permission to help?
Of course.
Do I have your permission to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable?
Yes.
Do I have your permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling?
Please, yes.
Is it okay if we create a story? Because we're right now at 2 hours and 24 minutes. I'm saying that, so write down that number. So when you go back and look at this recording, you can jump right to that, and it'll be for me helping you with your story. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit about you. Just tell me a couple of high bullet points. Not like, well, I was born on a farm in the middle of June. What's a couple of things you've done in your lifetime?
Well, like good or?
Yeah. Good or bad,
Well,
both. Have you had
like,
any big, huge failures?
yeah, I struggled a lot in high school, basically could have written it off.
Okay.
I played a lot of sports. Like I was really into sports and
What sports?
hockey. I played competitive hockey and soccer and volleyball.
So ice hockey or floor hockey?
Ice hockey.
Okay. So how long did you do that?
Oh God, like 12, 13 years.
Okay. So you know how to skate backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. See, I never mastered that. So ice hockey, what position did you play?
Everywhere. Just kind of wherever the team needed a
Okay.
extra player.
So you played forward. You also play goalie?
I actually did fill in as a goalie a few times,
Okay.
but that wasn't a position.
Okay, cool. Tell me how old you are now.
I'm going to be 21 this month.
Cool. Congratulations. Many happy blessings. So, so that was some of the good things you did in sports. What's a mistake that is it okay to tell me about? We're not going to use it in your story, but
A mistake?
Yeah. What's an oh crap moment?
Not taking things seriously when I was younger. Kind of feeling like I had my whole life ahead of me, so not really having any sense of urgency.
Okay. And what got you started in the profession?
Actually, my upline on Instagram, I've been following her for a while. She was like really inspiring to me for a few years before I reached out to her about the opportunity. And
Okay.
she got me started.
What realm is it in? Is it in wellness? Is it in services? Is it in
Beauty
beauty? Okay.
products, yeah.
So tell me how tall you are. What
About
the hell?
5'7".
Okay, so you're taller than the average bear. Okay. Okay. And do you like to wear heels?
No.
And is
Well,
it
like
because it hurts your hips or because you're taller than everybody and everybody looks at you?
because I'm taller than everybody.
Yep. So, okay. So you ready for your story? A version of your story?
Okay.
Okay. How long has your hair been long?
My whole life.
Okay. So, and say your last name, Reef?
Reef, yeah.
Reef. So, and where are you from, Riley?
Ontario, Canada.
So, Hi, everybody. My name's Riley Reef. I'm from Ontario, California. The reason you want to say where you are, even if everybody knows where you are, it gives them an idea to think of, well, if she can do it in Ontario, I can do it here. So you always want to give your location. All right. Hi, everybody. It's Riley Reef. Listen, I'm from Ontario, Canada. There's an Ontario, California. That's pretty cool, too. But I'm from Ontario, California. Listen, a little bit about me. I've spent years, 12 years in sports. Now, high contact sports. It may surprise you, but it was ice hockey. And in those years, I found out that it's really important to have a good team. And then I don't know about some of you. I don't know if how many of you have worn different hats in your lifetime, but on the ice, I played forwards, I played defense. Even a couple of times I filled in as a goalie. I don't recommend that for people who want to get a puck shot at them at 100 miles an hour. But I got started in this business. I got started in this profession because I was following somebody who inspired me. And our goal tonight is to have a conversation that hopefully inspires you to have a little bit more. I've got a very dear friend who's going to be doing this with me in this conversation tonight. But I just want to leave you with this. You're on a good team. We're going to have a conversation this evening to help you figure out where you can fit in the team. And in my 21 years that I've been on this planet, I really feel like I'm part of a community that we can all, when the game is over, we can all put a W in the win box.
Yeah. I guess because like the sports are from my past, I don't really like see it as like defining me. So I don't feel like I should include that, but.
So you're how old?
21.
And how many years did you play ice hockey?
12 years.
So more than half your life? I'd say that pretty well damn defines you. Because you're trying to define yourself as an entrepreneur. How long have you been in the business?
I'm going on my 5th month.
Okay. So 5 months versus 12 years. Which do you think you have more credibility in?
The sports.
Yeah. So that's why you talk about that.
Yeah, that makes.
I'm a farm boy from Ohio. I sold corn off a hay wagon when I was 5. Why does that show up in my story?
Because it made you.
Yeah, well, but how many of us have ever had a lemonade stand when we were 5 or 6 or 8? My goal is to create a rapport that's old, not surface. And when you talk about how many people on your call are going to be 50 and older?
Probably not that many. It'll probably be younger.
Yeah. So wouldn't it make sense for them to be able to remember their own success from when they were younger?
Yeah.
Or the fact that you've done something for 12 years, you've been beaten up and you got all your teeth still?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been beaten up, knocked down. You ever been checked into the boards?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So why wouldn't that define you? See, the challenge is that you're thinking you're going to get checked in this business, like really hard, like glass shattering checked in this business. But for most people, that would put them out of the game. When you realize the check that's coming, because how many times did you know the check was coming? There was a couple of times it caught you totally off guard, but you were going after the puck and all of a sudden you're like, you could hear them. You could hear the skates.
Yeah. It's
and
like
you could feel them. You knew a check was coming.
Yeah.
Do you think it would serve people well that you could guide them to know a check is coming in this business? In 5 months, you've been checked in this business. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
So how did you get through it? How come you got through it? Why are they asking you in 5 months to do a call together and not somebody who's been doing it for a year? Because they haven't been out there and gotten checked. The only reason you're on this call is because you've been checked.
Yeah.
You already have the credibility. You've already been hit to the ice, taken to the ice. The challenge is when people get taken to the ice, they get put on the injured reserve list and they never get back out on the damn ice. And nobody's going to look at this beautiful, smiling, gorgeous, sexy. Listen, I'm old enough to be your granddad. I'm saying this because this is the reality. You're beautiful. You're taller than most, and you've got hair longer than most, and there's all of these things I could pick on you. Where did she go? Did she just get kicked off? She just got kicked off. Funny how the anemone works. She'll be back. So here's the thing. There she is. Where's my champion? She'll be back here. We're waiting on you, Riley.
I'm sorry.
Hey, no reason to be sorry. So here's the thing. How many of you look at Riley? Yes, you got checked. You're right, RC. How many of you look at Riley? And Riley, I need you to just sit here and listen for it. Listen to it. You see this beautiful, amazing young woman. She's got a little ink on her arm, so there's a story there. She's got this gorgeous skin. She's got this amazing eyes. She's got the right glasses for her. She's got these beautiful lips. She's got this hair that's incredible. She's got this figure that's amazing. And there she goes again. There you are. You're back. Get the phone call. Okay. So, and you see this beautiful soul, and listen, follow me on this. There's a part of us that goes, I hope she has it tough. She's too beautiful. She's already got everything. What the hell else? Right, Riley? So how many times have you minimized yourself because of your height and your beauty and your figure and the way you eat and your exercise? You did 12 years of hockey. There shouldn't be an ounce of fat on you, for God's sake.
No.
Right? You could put on a pair of skates right now, couldn't you? And you could get out on the ice and you could do circles around most people, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell that story. That's all of your life. That's more than half of your life. You get to use every sports analogy. Yeah. Listen, how many of you went, oh, look at how beautiful she is? Yeah, she's probably a hockey player. You want to shock the world? You want to have an advantage over me, Riley? I've got 23 years in the business next month. You got 5 months. You want to have an advantage over me? You played hockey for 12 years. What? God. And you look beautiful. People would look at me and going, were you the puck for 12 years in hockey? I mean, you look like you've been smacked around a lot. I know it's tough for you to hear this, but I'm giving you the facts. I'm dropping fire. Am I allowed to say that? Is that what you would normally say? You're beautiful. You tell your story about your beauty. Nobody's going to expect you to be a hockey player. I promise you. You want to change the way people look at?
Yeah.
Listen, one of the things is that I was either going to go into beauty pageant or play ice hockey. Which do you think I did? What do you think they're going to say? Beauty pageant. Nope, I played ice hockey. What? And you will change the way they look at things. Rhonda, speaking to her, somebody who played basketball.
I know, I was waiting for the chance. So, Riley, I've never played hockey. I'm in East Texas, so we rarely see ice. But let me ask you a question. Was it mostly guys that play ice hockey there, or is there a lot of girls?
Well, I played with a girls division, but it was only the one team. A majority is guys.
Okay. So there's a little bit of a stigma for being a girl who plays ice hockey. You kind of get, like Rob said, you get checked more often by the guys and being like discounted and like, yeah, you can't play. But
yeah.
you know when you strap on your skates that you probably can skate circles around every one of those dudes.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. And you can take a check just as well as any of them can take one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where you sit. Rob even said it in the comments. You wear your jersey on tonight's call.
Yeah.
And that's where you start. And you stay in that sweet spot, because here's what you did. You overcame everybody picking on you. You overcame people saying, oh my God, you play hockey? That's a dude sport.
Yeah.
You've overcome all these obstacles and you're discounting them. You're discounting them. It's to the point where when you're playing and you're playing the forward position and you're advancing, your eyes are straight forward. You're seeing everything in front of you. Your eyes are forward. And you listen to what's behind you, but you don't pay any attention. You're looking forward. You're looking to move the puck down the ice and get in the zone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you stay instead of turning around behind you. If you skated like that the whole time, will you ever see the goal?
No.
When you get scared to speak, you're skating like this. There you go. There, that's what I was waiting on. That whole body language. Oh, okay. That made sense. Skate forward.
Yeah.
Look forward. What position did you play in volleyball?
Just rotate. So they would start me somewhere and then you'd rotate through the positions.
Were you a hitter? Were you a setter? Were you
on the sides hitting for the most part.
So you were spiking or spiker?
Yeah.
Okay. So if when the setter called your position and called whatever set she was about to throw up,
yeah.
If you kept watching the back row, if you kept watching the libero behind you, did you have ever ran and spiked the ball?
No, you miss it every time.
Every single time. When you are concerned about the old story, when you're concerned about not having what it takes, you're looking behind you. The setter has called your play, and it's time for you to go spike the ball. You know exactly what to do. You know your approach. You know outside, inside spike. You know the approach.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with skating. When you're in a forward position, you can't look behind when you're skating. You can hear it to make sure no one's sneaking up on you.
Yeah.
You're ready to spike the ball today. You're ready to advance the puck today. You know how to do it. You know what it takes. You know the energy it takes. But girl, here's the best part. You know the feeling of what it's like when you shove one of those volleyball down the throat of the girl across the net. And you're like, eat that, sister.
Yeah.
That's where you are. That's where you stay in your head. That's it right there. And when that ball says smack on the ground, you go, yeah, you couldn't dig that, could you? Didn't even get it, girl. That's where you stay. And you have that ability. It's just like if you're standing in line somewhere and it starts getting a little crowded and rough, you have the ability to go from this beautiful, amazing girl to all of a sudden your shoulders get broad and you stand up a little tall and you're like, hold up, y'all quit pushing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have all this strength, and that's where you're going to sit. That's how you're going to use it. I don't know if you ever watched women's basketball. I'm a big basketball fan too. I love all sports. But there is this one quote by Pat Summitt. She was the coach for the Tennessee Volunteers. She had 8 national championships. And she said, it's real simple. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to beat you. I'm going to outwork you. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
You did this on the ice, and you did this in training for volleyball. You know what it is. That's where you are. And this is what downloaded to me. I don't know how comfortable you'd ever be at doing it. And I don't know what y'all do in your business, but if you do beauty, makeup, all things like that, you could have the most fun by doing a video starting in your hockey gear and introducing yourself and pulling off a little bit of hockey gear here and keep talking, and you keep introducing yourself, and you get to the point where you start doing your makeup and you use whatever products it is you use. And by the end of it, you're just in your jersey and you're all made up with what you do now. And you've taken what you used to do, learned from it, uses the strength that you got from being on the court and being on the ice and stepping into, y'all think you can stop me? Have you not seen me spike the ball before? Have you not seen me skate past you, check you, and still go? What? Come on. Yeah. And that's what you have, Riley. You have an edge above most women. And as a woman who's old enough to be your mama, I'm gonna toss you up and hold you up. And if you have to stand on my shoulders to be taller and better and bigger, I'm going to keep a strong base for you because you deserve to be seen. And I see you.
Thank you.
You're worth it. So the setter has called your play. You're in your position. Outside, inside, ball goes down. You got this, girl. I love you. I love you.
Hello.
Oh, now you're going to get Panama. Watch out.
There you go. Little international conversation going on now.
Yeah, I want to say something. First of all, Riley, you are so beautiful. I mean, just to see your look and I know sometimes pretty people, beautiful woman, they're like, oh, I don't want people to see me because I'm beautiful. I want them to see my brain. But
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's me. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I'm saying this is because sometimes we feel like that, right? Like people looking at our beauty because I'm beautiful, of course. And so people are looking at our beauty. I would say, I don't want them to look at that. I want them to hear what I'm saying, okay? And I start like this because you are so beautiful, but I want you to understand something from the audience part, okay? Everything that Rhonda said was so perfect. It was right there to the point, right? And I couldn't express it better because you all your life been in that position of a leader, of a winning position, of I'm gonna give my best. So you've been in the game, right? Your whole life. So you already got this. You already know what you have to do. Now, I'm gonna talk to you about me being in the other side, looking at the other people in the game, playing the game, and I'm being the audience, right? So I was on the audience all the time looking at the people like you. So I want you to know how audience people react, right? Because maybe you don't know how we react. First of all, when you started talking and I saw you, I'm like, oh my God, she's so beautiful, right? This long hair, this body. I thought you were like a reef, how you say that? Like surfing girl, reef commercial. Even your name sounds like that commercial reef thing, right? So you look like a mermaid. And yes, I'm saying all this and you deserve to listen to this because even though probably you say, maybe you not even say you know that or but you know you are pretty, right? Because we know we are pretty, right? But here I am in the other side, okay? You playing your game, right? You out there. All I know is I want to see you, all your move. I'm looking at you, I'm the audience. I believe in you for many reasons. I believe in you. Some people will just listen to you just because you're beautiful, but they will listen to you. Some people will believe in you just because the way you move, but they will listen to you. You got that. You probably don't realize that, but you have that. You got so many things that make people look at you. And you know that you got the words, you got the move, you got the game. And your whole life, you've been doing that. You know what to move, how to move, so people be happy and stand up and yell, way, yeah, you made it. I know you're gonna make it. This game here in this business is the same thing. And you got one part that a lot of us doesn't have. A lot of us, you always been out in the audience trying to be you, right? But you already got that part. All you have to do is the same thing you've been doing all your life. Just concentrate on the game, on what you're doing to win. Tell them, this is how I move. This is what I'm going to move. You're not expecting what I'm going to do it. And you're going to get the same reaction that you get in your game of people standing up, screaming. You're going to get the same thing. I'm the audience. I had to learn how to play a game because I'm not a sport woman, right? So And even though I'm not a sport woman, I love to see some sports, even though I don't understand them. But I watch sport sometimes because I like the man's legs, but I watch the game, right? Or because I like to see their body, but I see the game, right? And
Yeah.
if it was a woman game, I watch the game, not because I understand the game. I watch the game because I say, I want to be like that. I want to have that body one day. And I watch the whole game without understanding, just because I love to see the woman playing and have that body and those muscles. And I say, I want to have those muscles one day, and she have it, right? So what I'm saying this is the audience pay attention for many reasons, but you know how to play the game.
Yeah.
Right? You know how to cut our attention. And all you do all your life is, I'm going to play to win, because you want everybody know that you can make it, and you love to see everybody standing up and say yes and scream, and that's what's going to happen today. Today, I think it's your meeting today, right? Just do the same thing you do all the time when you are out there surfing. No, you don't surf. Hockey. Yeah. When you're in the ice, right? Just do the same thing. And I don't know when you play, because I'm not a sport woman, I don't know when you play, during the game, and Rhonda, I don't know when you guys doing the game, you just concentrate on winning, or you also concentrate on see if the crowd scream. I don't know if you guys think about that, or I don't know. But if you don't concentrate about us screaming, I bet when we scream, that give you more energy. So in some part of your brain, even though you don't concentrate on that, you're looking for that. Even though you try to concentrate on your game to win, when you hear people screaming and happy, that gives you more energy. So in some part of your brain, you're looking for that scream, and you don't find that scream, you say, there's something I'm not doing. So you keep going and going to get that reaction. And I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you this because I had to learn that game on the stage. When I go on the stage and I'm talking and I say, I'm gonna give my best, I'm doing, and when I don't see no reaction, I'm like, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. I'm not getting a reaction. People are not smiling. People are not screaming. So I keep going, but I keep going, and I start to give my best. I start to think what I want them to listen, right? And as soon as I see this smile on their face, as soon as I see them clap, I'm like, yes, I made it, right? And I had to learn that, but I have to learn that. But you already know that. That's what I'm trying to get. I was part of the audience learning to be you, but you already got that part, right? So it's just be you, and like everybody's saying here, I mean, you are so beautiful. There's so many things about you that I want to listen to you, right? Just to see you, right? And we need to understand that. And just to finish this, because before you start to say this, I want to make a comment about all these same things. When I first started to do live, right? I was like real like, I don't know what to do, but I just jump and did it, right? And I kept doing it, and then I end up realizing that being me, I started to talk about one thing, right? And I know what I want to talk about, but if a fly goes by, I talk about the fly, right? And stop talking about what I was talking, but then I catch up again and keep going talking about the other thing. And then my mind going so fast that I remember something else, and I start to talk about something else, and then I come back and I keep talking about what I was talking. What I'm saying this is because I started to do that, and then I started to feel bad about that, right? Because gosh, I always talking about something and I end up talking about something different, right? And then I started to feel so bad. And then one time Listen to this. One time I was doing a live and I was doing the same thing. And one person in the audience in the live that I don't know said, gosh, girl, you're talking so many things and you're not saying anything. And that's what I was on my mind too. I was worried about that. And the person typed that to me. He said, you're talking so much and you're not saying anything, right? And guess what? Right there when I read that, I kind of like shut me down, right? Like for 1 second. And right there, one person said, that's what I like about her. She is so her, right? And right there I said, Sean just said something to you. He said, your people will support you. And this was a live that I did with people that don't know me. And I have people supporting me and I don't know them. It's even easier when you talk to your team because your team are there to learn from you, want to listen to you, right? So don't worry about anything, just be you, because if there's people there, your team, they want to support you. So if I receive that comment after that day, I said, that's me. And later on, days after, I was talking something and somebody else say something like that again. I said, oh, yes, you're right. I talk that way. That's me. See? So I finally, I broke that wall that was stopping me for talking. And it's true. That's the way I talk. That's my essence. That's the way I am. And I have a lot of people that love that. And I have a lot of people that hate that, right? But I don't understand how they hate it and they still follow me. So that's a confused haters, right? So I'm like, okay, they still love me. They just confused because they still following me, right? So I just want to say that because you got it. I mean, you are ready a leader. You are already on the stage. You know how to play the game, right? So just be you. I hope that helped.
Thank you.
How you feeling, Riley?
Relief.
Did you ever run a new play and not get it right on the first time?
Of course.
This is a new play. You're going to get it as right as you can. The world's going to love you for it. And this is you leading. They're asking you to be on it.
Yeah.
You're already a leader. And when you're a leader, you can ask people to join you in the leading by giving them a chance to lead themselves and saying, hey, listen, I'm a little nervous. Can you all drop a little heart in the chat or something? Drop a 5. Let me know that if I make a mistake, y'all got my back. And just watch the energy change. This is the challenge so right now, I'm going to take a step back. Zig Ziglar's son, Tom Ziglar, said, we have to learn how to motivate people from a remote location. This has never been taught before. This is something that military leaders get taught. How do you move an army from a remote location? That's what we're all asked to do right now. It's one thing to motivate people in a live situation, but now we're in a remote situation. They've got 1,001 distractions that's going to be on their screen. You have an advantage over me. I know we keep telling you this, and it's like, well, yeah, but my beauty's got nothing to do with it. It's got a lot to do with it. I wear loud shirts. That's what gets me attention, right? I'm a little goofy from time to time, a lot of the time. That allows me to get attention. So you don't have to do a whole lot to gain attention, but you will have to perform now. You're going to be held to a higher level because now it's an expectation. But the expectation is let people join you. The second they join you, it brings you down to their level and them up to your level, and instantly your peers. The second you say, listen, I'm a little nervous. Can you all drop a heart in the chat? Let me know that you got my back. And it's done. Game over, and you're on your way.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to go cry a little bit, but that's okay. And then I'll get back to things.
Okay.
But thank you so much.
Riley, how did you prep right before you took the court or the ice? How did you prep? What did you feel like?
What did I feel like?
Yeah.
Anticipation, nerves, but it was always like exciting.
Okay. So channel that.
Your pregame routine.
Channel
Yeah.
your pregame routine. Channel exactly what you did. I always, right before I took the court, I always had that moment where the butterflies in my stomach were like, I'm like, whoa. And there was a couple of different things that I did right before I took the court, and I did them every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And it prepped me.
Yeah, like a warm up.
Yep. Do those things. Get your warm up back down. Do your warm up, and then go right into your call.
Yeah.
You got
Riley,
this. And you have a whole group of people behind you over here cheering you on.
Riley, do you know the Wonder Woman stance?
No.
Okay. Rhonda?
Oh, I can't stand up at the moment, but you stand up nice and tall, and your feet are a little wider than hip width apart, and your hands go on your hip, both hands, and you stand. Go ahead and lift the sisters and stick them out a little bit, and stick your shoulders back.
Come on,
chin
Riley,
up.
stand up. Do it.
Oh,
Sean,
God.
you stand up. I can't stand up. Sean, you stand up. Now, put your hands in fist.
There you go.
Fist on your. Yeah, and now put them down on your hips. Nice and tall. Nice and tall. Come on, nice and tall. Shoulders back, head up. There you go. There you go. Look at us. No.
Stay up there.
Stand up just like you're looking like Wonder Woman. Please tell me you watched Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I feel silly right now.
I know you do. This is a rewiring.
Yes. Stand up, nice and tall. Nice and proud. Yeah, Jeremy's doing it. And he ain't even a woman. He's doing a Wonder Man stance. There you go. If anybody else can stand, I can't stand up and y'all see me. So if anybody else can stand up, y'all do it with Riley. Nice
that
and
light
tall,
behind
nice
her
and
looks
strong.
awesome.
Yep, it does. It does.
There you
look
go.
awesome.
Bakumi is doing it. So you've got the UK doing it. You've got America doing it. You've got, oh my gosh, look, everybody's doing it. There you go, nice and tall. Nothing can get you. Nothing can knock you over.
No.
And you stand like this in front of the mirror a good solid minute. Put a minute timer on your phone and stand in the strength that you have. That's your strength. And look at everybody standing with you. Tonight, you're going to visualize every one of us standing like that with you. We got your back. Ain't nobody going to do nothing. Ain't nobody got you. We got you. You feel it?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so.
Riley, this actually rewires your brain. You're taking your warrior is taking a stance. And it lowers your cortisol. It lowers your nerves. It does everything because you feel different now, don't you? You feel goofy doing it, but I promise you, when you stand in that and know why you're standing in that, it rewires you like that.
Yeah.
And this is how you take your place. This is how you stand in your secret sauce. You weren't going to talk about something for 12 years that was a part of your life. More than half your life wasn't important. Now it's the whole game.
Yeah.
You have credibility. You've played hockey longer than most people do network marketing.
Yeah, I feel like I was just dismissing a whole bunch of stuff about myself because when I was younger, it was always dismissed that time. So yeah, it feels really recognize it.
Awesome. And you got my number. You got either of our numbers. Reach out to us on Instagram or wherever, and we got you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. I love you all.
Thanks, Riley. Jessica.
Hello. I hope everyone is well. So yesterday was a struggle day. I'm still not sure what my secret sauce is.
Well, listen, people who are thinking they're finding their secret sauce are going to realize, oh my God, I didn't even know that was that. It's just, they're just cracking the can. They're just cracking the bottle.
Well, this is the thing. And after the call yesterday, I'm going to cry again. Don't want to cry. I saw something on telly, and then I don't know, this whole lockdown, I've been pretending that I don't miss work.
Mm-hmm.
I think once I joined network marketing, I thought, oh, this is great. You know, I have a chance to do something and work on myself. But I really do miss work. And it was really weird. Yesterday, I just sat on the stairs and I just cried because I've just been like suppressing it. And it's so strange because basically here, everything is opening up again. So you can get your hair cut, you can go to the pub, there's all these things you can do, but I can't teach swimming because the government have said it's not safe yet. So I'm not, I feel like yesterday something was telling me that my secret sauce is in teaching because I love it so much. But then I do really like network marketing. I love it. And I wrote down how all the things I like and what I think I would, you know, like to do. And I think there's lots of things. I've always been doing lots of different things at one time. So I've never seen the old stories saying, you've always done this and this and this. There's nothing that you can pick up and say, that's it. And it's holding me back. It's dragging me now.
Okay.
It's literally dragging me by my ankles.
How long do you want it to drag you?
I don't want it to drag me anymore.
Cool. So then what's the new story?
The new story is I have to throw it away.
No. What's the new story? We're not talking about the old story. What's the new story?
The new story is it's not looking at how, it's just getting on with it.
So the new story, do you have your health?
Not completely.
So do you have your health better than most?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you have your health. Stop comparing. So you have your health. Yours will get better, right? So
Yeah.
you got your health. Do you have a roof over your head?
Yeah.
You got running water?
Yeah.
Okay, you got technology and electricity?
Yes, lots of it.
You got food in the fridge?
Thank God, yeah.
Yeah, you're in the top 10% of the world. The world, top 10%. So can we get over that? Okay, I love you, Jessica. On the count of three, we're going to have a pity party. 1, 2, 3. Aw, and that's over now. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm. Great, thanks.
I love you. So here's the thing. You love to teach.
Yeah.
What do you want to teach?
Swimming.
Okay, so you can't get in the water right now. Can you teach? Do you know what strength training you could do to help people become better swimmers?
Yes.
Do you know what flexibility teaching possibly you could do to teach people to have a little bit more flexibility when they do swimming?
Yes.
Okay, start doing there.
Okay.
Start doing what the least you can do. What's a book? Is there a book to read on swimming? I mean, swimming's kind of hard to read a book on and go, okay, I'm a professional swimmer now. No, you haven't been wet yet. I get that.
Mm.
What's your specialty? Is it younger kids, older kids? Do you use it as a lifeguard? Is it what do you teach in swimming? Who do you teach?
Everyone. I love teaching babies, children, adults.
Okay, so what's the biggest fear parents have when they bring you their child and you throw them in and they bob back up like a little cork? What's the biggest fear parents have that you could teach them why it's so important that they take their kids to get taught how to swim?
What's the question? What are they thinking?
Yeah, what's the biggest fear a parent has, a mom has, to take her kid and watch somebody who teaches them swimming throw them in the pool and watch them bob as a cork and rotate on their back? What's the biggest fear a parent has?
That they're gonna drown.
Right.
No?
So how do you walk them? How do you teach them through that? How do you get them confident enough to let you do what you do well?
I show the parent that I can be the parent too.
Okay.
I
So
can slowly talk to them.
is there any videos online that you could use in a Zoom that you could play and go, here's what happens when we take your child swimming?
Not
just
of me, but
not
there
of
are.
you, but of other people. But what I'm thinking is there any way that you could be teaching while you can't be in the water?
Yeah, there is.
So then I would start there. Because you're getting stuck on, I got to be in the water. Don't have to be in the water. You could be teaching now.
Okay.
So just start there. Even if you just started doing a video for yourself, and you just what would be the 3 points you would talk about to a parent, to a parent of a kid who's 5 to 8, and then 8 to 12, whatever the cutoffs are for the different groups that you have. Speak to that audience. Now, you don't have to publicize it, but at least start the teaching, start the process, get the new neural patterns going in your brain so that you can create the success you're looking for.
So these other ideas I have, shall I ignore them or should I?
What's the other idea?
Okay, so the other one is I wanted to make a group for how to look after and how to grow curly hair, because I love helping other people look after that.
Is there anybody else on the planet that has curly hair?
Yeah, that's loads. I've spoken to people already.
Well, then start it. When do you want to start it?
Now.
Okay. And do you need to come up with a name?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all throw some names in the chat. Can you change the name?
Yes.
Okay. So y'all throw some names in the chat for a curly hair group.
Okay, that's one.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I wouldn't wait to start it.
Okay.
So what would be the first thing you would talk about? Worldly curls. I love it. What would be the first thing you talk about?
The first thing I talk about is like conditioners and leave-in conditioners, a bit like what Gigi's doing.
Okay. So what if you allowed people to have a survey? What's the biggest challenge you have with your curly hair? Why don't you do a post like that on Instagram going, listen, this is only for curly haired people. What's your biggest challenge? Isn't that your audience now? Wouldn't you DM them, say, hey, listen, I'm putting together a group.
Mm-hmm.
And remember when we were little and we were picked on all the time? I'm going to put together this group to help the younger kids know how to deal with getting picked on with their curly hair.
Okay. I like that.
All right. And so now all of a sudden, how many people do you think, if they're your age or older, would say, oh yeah, we were just brutalized as children? Imagine, do you think they'd have more reason to come together to join your group than just to being about curly hair?
Yeah.
So find a vision bigger. So now
Okay.
your group is about how to help kids with curly hair live a straight life. Ooh.
Okay, and then the other idea I had today was called, I want to name something about post-it noting books so that you don't have to read them back to back, because I have loads and loads of books and I love dipping in and out of them. So I was thinking of maybe doing like a IGTV on just that, really, just picking up something and then reading something and then acting on it.
Cool. Do you have access to IGTV?
Yeah.
Do you have access to books?
Yeah, I've got so many.
Do you have access to Post-it notes?
Yeah, I got loads.
So what do you need? What do you need help with getting started? You got everything to get started.
I know, right? This is the thing.
Yeah, what's the thing? Go ahead. Tell me the thing.
So now, which do I go with? Because I feel like.
Sure. Because you're trying
I'll get him for you this time, Jessica. I'll get him.
Jess, listen to me, my love. You're trying to figure out which one's the best one. You haven't started any of them. Start one of them. You got to start. You can't figure out what's the best one until you start them, and do them all. Do them all. And you're going to go, oh, this one, I really like this one. I like that one, but this is where I'm going to spend my time. There's the Pareto principle. And the Pareto principle says 80% of something does not give you 20%, only gives you 20% of the return. 20% of something gives you 80% of the return. The Pareto principle says the 80-20 rule, 20% of what you do produces 80% of your results. 80% of what you do produces 20% of your results. Which do you think is going to serve you better long term? The 20% of things that you do or the 80%?
80%.
Well, the 80% only produces 20% of the results. But the 20% of the things that you focus on produces 80% of your success. So you're going to focus on you're going to narrow it down. So you've got three things. One of those is going to really kick your passion. It's going to get you fired up, but you won't know which one until you do all three.
I want to cry. I want to know which one.
Well, okay, so you got three guys that you're going to pick to go out on a date. Which one do you pick? I don't know. Well, that one looks cute, but have you ever had a cute guy turn into a butthead?
Yeah.
And have you ever had the average guy be like really nice and sweet? Like, I really like him. He's like a warm cup of coffee. He isn't a sexy Maserati or an espresso, but I could hang here. You gotta go do them all. Because here's the thing that I do know.
I ain't Leo, but I'm all right.
Well, you're better than Leo now because, oh no, Leo's here. I was going to say because Leo ain't here. You're the sexiest Leo we got, but Leo's here. So, so Jess, the thing is, why don't you want to try all three?
Because I don't want the Leo. Sorry, Leo. No, I'm here. Leo, go away.
Listen.
The only thing worse is if Leo took his shirt off right now. We'd all be like, "Rah! Oh no!" And we all lose our train of thought.
Well, all of y'all, except like I wouldn't lose my train of thought.
I would.
So
you might. We don't know.
So here's the thing. Start with one of them. Listen, you may get so excited about one, you don't need to go to the other because it turns your crank.
Yeah.
But here's what I do know. Not doing any of the three keeps you stuck.
Yes.
And we ain't here to be stuck after 3 hours. 3 hours
No.
and 15 minutes.
No.
Jessica, why don't you try even if you don't want to post anything, try making content for all three and then see which one like sparks your passion more.
That's like, listen, I love you, Ann. That's like kissing a pillow.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. No, it's good. This is me mentoring. This is mentorship conversation. Yes, doing the content, great. That's busy stuff. Get to doing. Imagine if you kept looking at your makeup this morning and never put it on. That'd be like building content.
That's what I'm doing.
I've got Mac, I've got this, I've got that, I've got this, I've got that. Yeah, see, I know at least.
You know Mac? Wow.
So it's my favorite brand. Point is, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
I've got to jump in the water.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, if you knew somebody who taught swimming, you'd know exactly what the hell that meant. So it all comes back. Listen, I'm not good at many things, but I'm good at getting you off your butt.
Hey, you're like lying to yourself. You're good at many, many things.
I'm good at a handful of things. I'm really
More than
good.
that.
I'm really good at a handful of things. But there's a lot of things I have experienced because I've just paid attention. But here's what I do know. As much as my experience serves me, it doesn't serve you till you get your own experience. And that's the only way that I can continue to lead you is till you get your experience. Because once you jump in and the boat goes sideways or it does this, now we can GPS the movement of your activities because the car's moving.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
So where do you want to start?
I think I'm going to start with the books.
Cool, great. When do you plan on starting that? Is it something you do today?
Yeah, right now.
Okay,
I'm going to
cool.
find 5 books and then see which one screams at me.
Okay. And then when you do that, when do you think you might do that?
I can do it today.
I know. What time today? Today's a long time.
Today, what's the time? Okay, let's say 4:30. You're
Half
stop
four.
laughing. Half 4.
So it's what time for you now? Quarter what?
It's 3:45.
Oh, it's 3:45, so 4:30, so 45 minutes. So in 45 minutes, you're going to do what?
You can decide which book I like.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I don't care which book you like. Do that sooner. When are you going to go on IGTV?
It will happen. Look,
No,
you
I
see,
know it'll happen. Great, but give me a time.
I can't give you time because I like to write everything down and then I
Awesome.
can
How
do
long is it going to take you to write it down?
a while.
How long will you hold off on your success? How long will you write? An hour?
Yeah.
Okay, so now 4:30, so now we're 4:30. How long after you write down will you go live on IGTV?
Okay, it won't take an hour, maybe like half an hour.
Okay, so I'll give you an hour. So you go live 4:30 on IGTV?
Yeah.
Okay, so at 5:30 you're going to go on to IGTV. Is it going to be live or you're going to put up a recording?
It's going to be live.
Okay, cool. So IGTV, 5:30 for you is in an hour. So 10 o'clock. So can you ping me before you go live?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know if I'll make it. I don't know that I have an event. Who else would you ping letting them know you're going live?
I can, and Bikini Rhonda, Jeremy.
Cool.
No one else put your hands up. I'm scared
No,
now.
I'd hate for anybody to see this crap.
Yeah, but you see, I get nervous after things. So, because I used to dance, I used to sing, I used to act. So I do stuff, I can do it. And after I'm like, that was awful.
Right. So can we make sure it's not awful?
Well, I feel like that after everything.
Well, that's okay. But if at least you see some of our input going, this is awesome. Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
How long do you want to own the old story that this is awful every time you do something?
Oh, if I got rid of that, wow.
So when would you like to get rid of it?
Today.
Okay, cool. And if you got rid of it, what would have to be the story after the video?
That I go and do something, that I go for a walk or something.
No, that's a reward. What would be the story after the video? That was amazing.
I journal affirmations or something.
No. Here's the story. When you're done with the video, that was amazing. Can you say that was amazing? That was amazing.
That was amazing.
I could do better, but that was amazing.
I could do better, but that was amazing.
That'd be the new story, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So 5:30, you'll go live and we'll all tell you how amazing it is. And when it's done, you'll go, that was amazing.
Okay.
Cool.
Jessica, have you ever been scuba diving?
I've been snorkeling, not scuba diving, but snorkeling.
Have you ever dove with your snorkel and mask on, like at least 10 feet or so to dive down?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gotten water into your mask? And you're like, and you shoot up to the top? Have you ever done that? Was it amazing being in the water, swimming and snorkeling?
Yeah.
Did it suck a little that your mask leaked?
Yeah.
Okay, so your mask might leak a little today on your video, but it's going to be flipping amazing swimming in the water, snorkeling.
I got you. Thank you. Okay.
I love that swallow you just had. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Great. You guys don't have to go live and blah, 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 blah. You're doing something you love. We love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you.
This is getting your secret sauce out. We're starting to crack the bottle. Bakumi! Go ahead, Bakumi.
Ukes!
Hey, Sean. Hey,
Hello,
everyone. Okay. I hope you're all having a great day. What was I gonna say? Okay, so if I ask you the question, where are you now, and where do you want to go? What would your mind think of when you answer the question, where are you now?
Are you asking this to me or to a prospect?
I'm asking this to you.
So me, I'm perfectly present in this situation, filled with love and joy, looking to see how much I can give away.
And okay, and then my answer was just nothing like that at all.
Well, because you're not in the moment. I'm in the moment. Ask me, what was going to be your next question? Where are you going?
Yeah, where do you want to go?
Wherever I go, I'll be here right now. So this is the best place I can be. I can't be any place other than this. So thank you for allowing me to have the best moment that I've ever had in my life.
Okay. Ugh.
When most people
No,
answer,
your answer was good. I don't mean ugh to your
when
answer.
most people go to answer those questions, so tell me where you at, they're going to tell you where their pain is at. 95% of the people will tell you where their pain is at. Where are you at? I'm stuck in my job. I'm unemployed. I'm this. That was like yesterday. You're sitting here in front of me right now. How could you be there? You're not unemployed in front of me. You're sitting here in front of me. We identify our pain, never our joy. So where are you? I'm stuck, I'm lost, I'm frustrated, I'm divorced, I'm this, I'm mad, I've been cheated on. And we come up with a litany of things of where we're not even in the moment. So knowing that every prospect I have a conversation with is going to tell me where they're at. And then when I say, where do you want to go? It's never to be in this moment. They're always going to ask me, how do I get to $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month or a six-figure income? Great. What do we have to do right now?
Okay. I think you literally answered my question without me actually asking you the question. Where are you right now? Oh my God. I don't know why I didn't think about like where I actually am. Because when I answered the question, it was like more about my situation, like you just said. So I didn't think, oh, I'm sitting here writing this. Like I never thought to think where I actually am, which sounds really weird.
It does. I mean, think about this. If I were on your side of the camera and I asked Bakumi, where are you at? I'm sitting in the favorite house, the favorite room of my house, having a conversation with 21 of the most amazing people on the planet. And they think I'm pretty freaking cool. But see, that never comes across, because that would be like bragging on yourself. It's like, if you don't brag on you, how the hell can I brag on you? When you come in and you go, and whatever the hell that is, however.
That's what I look like.
But well, when you do that, we all giggle.
Bakumi, you're like way cooler. No, I'm kidding.
Makes sense.
How can we not fall in love with that smile? Everybody needs a little, as RC said, little bukes in their life, little books in their life. Let's go. So Bakumi, where are you?
I am sitting down here, one of my favorite colors, listening to people from across the world with a light shining in my eye that's low-key like blinding me, and I'm enjoying life.
It feels weird to say to like be in joy, doesn't it?
Yeah, but like be in joy in this moment, like, because usually I'm like visualizing of like, oh, like this is where I want to be. Like I have constant like visions of like where I want to be, and I imagine myself in it. So I'm constantly lost in my like dreams or my thoughts. So like it's like weird to like be in two places at once.
So, but are you in two places at once? When you're thinking about your dreams, where are you?
I'm right here.
Right. And that's what draws them to you, because the more you dream about them, the stronger you dream about them, they have to show up when?
Now.
They can't show up when you're not in
Oh
them.
my God. I am right now. I'm living right now.
It's only taken 495 episodes to get through.
Why did that just click? Like,
Well,
I've
because
literally
it
been here
did.
since February.
Because it did. That's why it clicked, because it did. You finally entered into the now. And where are you now?
Now. I mean, I'm here right now.
Right. And so that now's gone. Where are you now?
Here right now.
See how easy it is to be in the now, but how hard it is to maintain it?
My heart is beating. I don't like.
Until. It's only difficult until. You all got to put up with this until.
Damn.
See,
Now I'm realizing how much I've not been in the now by being in the now.
Right, exactly. By being in some other now that you can't be in some other now. You can only be in this now. So why would you ever be in any other now? Because you choose to not be in this now, because in this now you have total control. As long as you're in some other now, you can complain about it. But you can only be in this now. You go back to your first kiss. Do you remember your first kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when was the first kiss? In the now.
Yeah.
That's why you're laughing about it, because it's in the now.
What? Sorry.
We are we get to transgress multidimensional galactic galaxies in the blink of an eye. But we're always in the what? The now. Eckhart Tolle, the power of now. And the more you can stay in the now, the more the now shows up. And she finally took the control of the remote. Exactly. The power of now. There you go, Eckhart Tolle. Hopefully that's one of the books you're going to do at 5.5. How you doing, Books? How you doing, Books? How you doing?
Books feels weird.
That's because you finally showed up in the now. All of you just coalesced. You just went like this accordion. And you're all in the now. The past you is in the now. The future you is in the now. The now is of you is in the now.
Hours of you is in the now.
Can you feel the bed under your butt?
I'm on a chair, but yes,
Okay.
I can.
Can you feel the chair under your butt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you feel the clothes on your shoulder?
Yes, I can.
Can you feel the pen in your hand?
Yes, I can.
Can you feel the hair on your head?
Yes, barely, but yes, I
keeps
can.
That keeps you in the now.
Hmm.
Were you ever mad or angry when you were thinking about the chair on your butt, the pen in your hand, the sweater on your shoulder, or the hair on your head?
No.
No. So when you got mad, where did you go? You
the
went somewhere in
past.
the past or in the future. When you're in the now, it's it. Bye, Ann. So there you go.
Wow.
Yep. It's all about
Oh my
the now.
God.
So whose responsibility is it to be in the now?
Mine.
Yep. And it's your ability to respond to the when.
To now.
Yeah. And when will you
I've
live?
always heard you talk about the now, but I just thought, yeah.
Why do you think I always talk about it?
I just can't believe it's clicking after like 5 months.
Right. But why do you think I always talk about it?
Because it's the most important time.
And I'll keep saying it until when?
Till the end of time, till now.
Ah, see, till now. See, now I don't have to talk about it to you anymore. You already know it, but I'll keep saying it for everybody else till they get to where.
Till now. Like some poetry. Like.
It's magic. Trust me, it is magic. When you stay in the now, you won't believe what happened, this, that, and the other. Okay, so what do we do about it? Well, how come you're not? There's nothing I can do about it other than now. You're telling me about something happened in the past. What can I do now?
Yeah, because every time you would do that, I'll low-key be like, what about that? Like, are you gonna sort of like? But now it's starting to make sense.
I love it. Welcome to the now. I'm going to take the red velvet rope now. Bakumi, party of one, Bakumi, please come in.
She's stepping into the now. No, I'm already in the now. My head is literally about to explode. I think I need a nap.
Yep, there you go.
Thank you.
RBP, would you like to now wrap us up?
Y'all, I feel y'all. Yeah, so Sean has basically let down the red velvet rope to everybody, because what y'all are getting today, this is why, thank God, this is why I have had the growth that I've had, because I asked to step into this uncomfortable place this time last year.
Well, you thought you did. You did, but you
No,
had
I did. I did for that now.
Right.
Now, it's a total different level. What's beautiful is Sean knows, he listens well. And if you listen to his listening, instead of listen to his talking, if you listen to his listening.
I just watched everybody's head explode.
Yeah. He learns how to speak to you in the now that you're needing to step into now. And yeah, it just like, it's like, wow, yesterday for me, it was like, wow, my head's about to explode. As you sit in the now, you'll be able to speak to people and hear where they're sitting and understand why they're responding the way they respond, or if they're reacting the way they react. But the only way you can hear that is if you bring yourself to now. Otherwise, you're speaking from some other past while they're speaking from some other past, and neither one of you can be present. And then you just both get pissed off at each other. And then you wonder why everybody's just a bunch of jerks. And it's because we're all not sitting in now. But as we learn to sit in now, we learn how to listen from now instead of listen from the past or the present. So I sit over here and I'm like, golly, yes, I identify with them. Yep. And then I sometimes stop and go, wait, where's Sean listening from? What does it sound like from Sean's ears? And I listen to that. And then Sean and I will have some dialogue as to what that sounds like and looks like. And that's when it gets even more fun, because you get out of the way and you get over yourself and you step into who you were designed to be, and that becomes your now. And then you get a leg up in this world of, well, hold up, that ain't where I'm supposed to sit. And you begin to identify that faster. And that's when success comes rushing in. And I'm learning what that feels like, because there's moments where I'm like, nothing's happening. And I'm learning it's okay, because that's just now, just right now. So sometimes listening to Sean makes me feel like I listen to a really bad comedy sketch of somebody just wanting to run me around in my head in loops. Yeah, Bakumi. And I'm like, wait, what did he just say? then as I hear what he's saying, the reason it runs me in loops is because what he's teaching is so simple that we complicate it and we run in loops, and he's over there going, it's really easy.
Well, I'm sitting here going, here they come. You should be in the now.
It's like we're at a racetrack, and he's like, there the and they turn left again. Wait, oh, and they turn left again. Oh, wait, oh, and they turn left again. Because that's just going around the track. And he's just waiting for someone to go, oh, can I just have a water break? He's like, yeah, here, step over here. And then that's where we're like, but everybody's running. And he's like, yeah, but you don't have to. And it's just, he does a pattern interrupt, and he does it well. And that's what I'm focusing on. And that's what I hope you guys will learn too, is can you learn how to pattern interrupt yourself? What's your recovery story to pattern interrupt yourself? And can you jump into that when you get into this pattern? You know, like when he was talking to Jessica, and I heard Jessica sing opera at one point. He asked her a question, and she was like, ah! I'm like, she hit a high note, an opera note. I don't even know what note she hit, but she hit it. She didn't even know she hit it. Go back and listen to the replay, because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I totally sang on camera. And I'm like, it's just those kind of fun moments that I'm like, wow. And he's let down the red velvet rope, and he's let y'all into some extra education and knowledge. And then you take this, apply what you can now. You may not apply everything. Apply one thing. Just apply one thing. And then tomorrow, apply one more thing. And that's all you start with. And you will be shocked at where you find yourself really quickly. And you all have it. You're all worthy of it. You're all enough. I have this great little plastic, those little rubber bracelets that people always hand out. I got one handed out to me that says, I am enough and I am worthy. And I wear that, and every now and then I look down at it and I see it. And if you have to write it on your wrist or whatever, you are worthy. You are enough. Everything you've gone through has destined you to be right here, right now. How lucky are you to be here right now, getting what we're getting? How blessed are we? And if we're here right now, getting what we're getting, and it's that amazing, God is really shining down on us right now. And the least we can do is just sit in now and say thank you. And then rise up and go. So there you go. I love y'all. I love listening to y'all. I'm having a blast over here. And I'm also having a blast going, finally, he got somebody else to target instead of me. Thank you, Jesus. I'm like, whew, pressure was off for a little while. We'll hang up and it'll come back. I'm like, oh, here we go. But it's good pressure. It's good. So y'all step into your greatness. I'm always here for y'all. If ever I can add anything to you, or give you an atta girl, or a swift kick in the pants, or smack you around a little bit, or let you smack somebody, try to smack somebody around. Y'all heard me catch myself. Try to smack somebody around. I'm here for you. And I love y'all. Proud of y'all.
And a big shout out to the couple of guys that are still here, Dana and RC.
Heck yeah.
Right? Because
Superman.
They're listening to all of this, and they're wanting to have the secret code to how do we have a conversation and how do we move and motivate the smarter community. So RC, what you got? Go ahead, RC.
Real quick. So I'm going to post it in maybe the Misfit group today. So when I made that comment about, not being as hot as Leo, my phone was overheated. The warning thing came on, and that's why I got dropped. So I'm hot. I got proof.
Hot. Yeah, hot.
Wow, that's awesome. Hey, before I forget, y'all, I know Michelle's not on here. I snagged these and I forgot to show them. So the books that she asked me that I was telling her about at the beginning of the call, one is called The Edge Effect, and it's by Dr. Eric Braverman.
Jess, why don't you go get those on your shelf?
Yeah.
you probably already have.
This one is kind of a challenging read, but it helps you with the neurotransmitters and the neuroreceptors And there's a couple of tests you can go in to see if you're having an overactive brain, what you might be lacking in. It's really good. It is kind of a challenging read. And then the other one is, I do like Dr. Amen, and you've probably seen this, Change Your Brain, Change Your Body. That's a good book. He has a lot of amazing things. His clinic is really amazing. He's kind of a down-to-earth guy. I like him a whole lot. And he has a whole thing you can get involved in. But the Change Your Brain, Change Your Body, he has, it's really good. It's really good. So that's the clinic I went to. So before I forgot, I had those stuck here beside me. There you go.
There you go, Misfits. I'm your head misfit who's in the now. Love you tons. I'll see y'all where? At the next event.
At the next event.
Y'all send
Bye,
some
y'all.
love to each other.
I love you.
Bye,
y'all.
guys.
Take care, Wonder Women.
Everyone love
Good luck, Riley.
Love
You
you.
got this,
I'll see you in a
Riley.
little
You got
bit,
this,
Jess.
Riley. You got this, Riley.
See
Check
ya.
him into the corner.
CG, I'll see you in a little bit too.
Bye, everyone. Love you guys.
Good luck,
All the way
everybody.
from
Have a
the
good day.
UK.
Yes,
Bye,
all the way
y'all.
from the UK. Love y'all.
Bye.
Good luck tonight, Riley.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.